Hey, what's going on? Listen, y'all knew, I won't say you knew, but y'all should have known that it was going to take me a little bit longer to wrap them notes up tonight. The notebook is on deck, but y'all should have known that it was going to take me just a little bit longer to wrap them notes up tonight because, baby, it was a lot of talking went on Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17 reunion. So some of y'all are in the vertical, some of y'all are in the main chat. Don't worry, you know we're going to hash it out. We're going to hash it out, and we're going to get everybody in the main chat before we done. Everybody in the vertical, how y'all doing? Everybody in the main, how y'all doing? What's going down? Now listen, I'm sorry. I'm tardy for the party, but I ain't that doggone tardy. But it was a lot of notes because I tried to pretty much get verbatim. I'm going to be honest. I did not expect that it was going to be this much said. I had no idea that it was going to be this much said. A couple of lines were skipped, but pretty much line for line. Something got in my mouth. There was a lot said tonight. There was a lot said. Legit, let me count. One, I'm counting pages of notes. I'm going to tell y'all exactly how many pages of notes we got to get through. And y'all probably going to be like, Nitra, you lying to me. But I'm telling y'all the truth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, not to be confused with 11, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pages of notes is what we got to get through. It was a lot said. These heifers couldn't hold a mouth, couldn't hold a peace. We could clearly see a line of demarcation on that set tonight that was supposed to be set up to look like, I guess, the castle over there in Scotland that they were staying in, castle mansion. I don't know what you're gonna call it, but it was you could tell that's what the set was supposed to be looking like, something over there, something European and old. You know what I'm saying? Well, listen, them heifers had a lot to say. The line of demarcation was clear. It was definitely giving the Housewives version of Family Feud. We had Sunshine, etc. The notebook is on that oil, baby. It's on steroids. Them heifers had a lot to say. We had a K. Michelle and Drew Sidora clash. We had a K. Michelle and Porsha Williams clash. We saw the makings of a K. Michelle and Shamia clash. We saw a Angela Oakley and Kelly clash. We saw a Porsha Williams and Kelly clash. It was the clash of the Titans up there. It was the clash of the Titans. They was over there clashing, banging, booming. It was bumper cars and evening gowns. Them heifers was crashing into each other, left, right, sideways, and indifferent. So we got 15 pages. We gonna get into every last bit of it. But one thing I'm gonna have to ask y'all to do, and I mean it, especially once you in the main chat, I need y'all to hit the like button. I need you to put your like number in the chat. If y'all don't want to play the like lottery, that's fine. But I do need you to hit the like button, put your like number in the chat. I don't need to be begging y'all for likes because we got 15 pages of notes to get through tonight. It ain't even just that you don't want to do Duolingo. It's the fact that you shouldn't want to drag me into begging for likes when we got to get through 15 pages of notes. It was a lot said. And y'all know I do my best to be thorough. But I can't give you what you need if I got to stop every 5 to 7 minutes to beg for likes. Okay? Don't treat me bad because I wouldn't do it to you. Don't treat me bad because I wouldn't do it to you. Okay? So please treat me right. In the words of Chubb Rock, treat me right. Don't make me beg. Don't make me beg. I done did too much. I done did too much to have to be begging y'all for likes. I have written. Let me tell y'all something. Let me ask you this. Have y'all ever written so much like trying to keep up that your forearms start aching? I wrote tonight and I was writing so fast trying to keep up. I had to pause and go back and write stuff just to keep track of who said what. my arm is literally still like low-key throbbing a little bit. Not bad, but I can still feel it pulsing a little bit. I worked for y'all tonight. So I absolutely am going to have to insist. I'm going to have to insist that y'all hit that like button and put your like number in the chat. Please don't make me beg. Okay? So listen, quick housekeeping, because we don't want to stop for that either. Make sure if y'all cuss in my chat that you misspell your cuss words. While this is not Sunday school, this is still a public platform, and then people be watching us, and I don't need my channel to get flagged, shadow banned, or nothing else, okay? So please, if you must cuss, misspell your cuss words, okay? Also, make sure that y'all are not arguing, bickering, or disrespecting anybody in my chat, because we don't tolerate that over here. We don't do that toxic stuff where we mistreat each other. We act like family over here because we are the RHOA family. Now, you come to the front porch to gossip, but who you sit on the porch with is your kinfolk. So don't mistreat you. Don't mistreat your family talking about people on the TV, okay? Remember, your fave may not be somebody else's, and vice versa. Your host do not like any of these women. So please do not be disturbed if your favorite get drugged. In 5 to 10 minutes, the person you don't like, I might be dragging them next, okay? Make sure that y'all greet folks as they come in. If you see somebody new, please say welcome. If you see somebody you haven't seen in a while, make sure to say welcome back. If this is your first time hanging out with us, make sure that you let us know it's your first time, or put FTL for first time live so we can welcome you personally and individually, because we are indeed happy to have you here, okay? You are with family. And if it's your first time, please make sure that you subscribe so you can come back, because we want you to be here, okay? You're wanted. You are wanted here, all right? So look, let me get this thing going. Let's get this thing going. Let me greet who's here real quick. I'm going to close out the vertical. The vertical is here. Bianca wasn't doing well, and she took a little break, and hopefully we get our Bianca back. You know, we love her dearly. B, if you watch on the replay, girl, we love you and we miss you. Okay? But yeah, she hadn't been doing well. She had some health challenges. Okay? So on the vertical, as per normal, this is just to make sure that, you know, we got a better chance at everybody knowing we're live. I'm going to end the vertical. If you hit the icon for the channel, it will show you that we're still live. If you tap it, it'll bring you to the main chat. I'm going to end the vertical. Those of y'all in the main chat, don't move. You in the right place, okay? All right, y'all. Let's get into this thing. Let me greet who's here, and let's talk. Baby, these women had it going on tonight. They had it going on tonight. Everybody seemed like they wanted to work for their check. Everybody was working for their check tonight. Hey, Kat, thank you for being like number 2. D. Lauren Brown is number 5. Sunshine. It's our sunshine, y'all. She is like number 4. Miss Gardner is here. That's my sis. She's number 7. Love you, girl. I'm glad you made it. I'm so glad you're here. We got Miss Nisi in the house. She number 7. Sinclair Baptiste is 6. My good sis Magaline Lamar is number 10. My favorite nephew, Sean Living Life, is like number 8. Happy Sunday to you. All right. And happy royal anniversary to Miss Gardner. 44 months strong, baby. That's fam right there. Miss Weedy Pooh, thank you for being 11. Cheryl James, how you doing? You was waiting on me. Girl, we here. We here. Hey, Ian Watson, thank you for being number 12. You and Priscilla Clemens hit that button at the same time. I appreciate you. The wonderful, the amazing DS is here. She's number 15. She's here to run the reflection corner and her mouth in that order. Richard Wilson, Kinfolk, thank you for being number 19. Lauren Brown, congratulations on your royal anniversary. 5 months strong, y'all. Said thank y'all for the birthday wishes yesterday. 66 Seattle, thank you for being number 20. You and Miss Lovely T hit it at the same time. How you doing? Teresa, thank you for being 23. Our good old girl, Delicia Dismuke, is in the chat, and she is like number 14. Happy Sunday to you, sis. I'm trying to hit the thing, and it won't let me. Boy, they treat you bad when you ain't good with technology. Thank you for being 14. Deborah Randall is here, so Housewives Talk is legal, and she's like number 20. Queen of Hearts KS, hey, sis, long time sister. Thank you for being number 21. Nap Queen New Orleans, that's my boo. Thank you for being number 25. Shine Bright in the house. How you doing, boo? Make sure you hit that like button now. Treat me right. Antoinette, hey, girl. Thank you for being 23. You say you think that might be wrong, but I'm glad you hit the button. Even if you got the number wrong, I'm glad you hit the button. Okay? Listen. Let's make sure we got everybody everybody. Sharon Howard, how you doing? Good to see you. Hit the like button, sis. Y'all put your like number in the chat. Let me know you up in here. Adrian, hey girl, thank you for being 40. Black Smile in the house. She number 34. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. Diva 2, what's going on, Duval? Thank you for being number 34. All right, Hood Star in the house. Hey, how you been? Thank you for being 41. Miss McKinney. M. McKinney is 39. Hey, sis. DV, what's up? Thank you for being 39. We got Miss Sparkle here, our resident Mary Kay lady. She asking you to hit the like button, and so is DS. Y'all tuck in and get comfortable. It's a long ride tonight. Shine Bright, thank you for being 16. Linnell, thank you for being 4. Hey, Monique Austin, how you been? So good to see you. I'm glad everybody in the family is home tonight. I'm glad everybody home tonight. Auntie Eva, thank you for being 44. Catherine Bennett, hey, sis, thank you for being 46. Come on through, Shakita Powell. My sis is 45. Hey, Trey Smith, thank you for being 46. Are you new? If so, let us know so we can welcome you. Hey, Nakia, how you doing, boo? Hit the like button for me. Put your like number in the chat. Divine Miss M is 45. All right. Poetic Lyrics is here. Thank you for being 38 and 47. See, she hit it on 2 devices. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all look out for me. Keep the hanks off me. Golden Life, thank you for being 53. What up, AP? I'm so glad you did. Brandon Martin, you say you glad Porsha told Kay that she stopped getting to know her when she started getting to know them. I'm literally living that right now. Happy Sunday, family. Thank you for being number 35, Brandon. Who treating you like that? You know we don't play about you. Who treating you like that? Give me their name. I'll roast them right here live. I promise you I will. Lord, Monique say, go on, give them that Turkish lesson. They don't want to hit the like button. Is that true, y'all? Is it true y'all don't want to hit the like button? KP Gill, Miss Queena is number 62. Yeah, don't be lurking and being weird. Don't be weird. Don't act like K. Michelle, child. Don't be strange. Hey, Aries Diva, happy Sunday. Thank you for being 73. My girl Paige is 72. What up, sis? How you doing? So good to see you. All right, who else we got? I'm trying to make sure we done hollered at everybody, or at least mostly everybody, so we can get this thing crunk. We got Yvette here all the way from Birmingham, UK. Hey, sister. Sister, you been on my mind. We was in here yesterday, girl. It was somebody else from your neck of the woods in the UK, but she was in Nevis, I think she said, on vacation. Thank you for being number 76. We were just talking about you yesterday. How the children doing? It's so good to see you. Donya Crawford, hey girl, hit the like button. All right, my sis, thank you for being here and her RHOA anniversary with her Ruby Crown, 40 months strong. Brooklyn Queen for you, 78. All right, Miss J, how you doing? Thank you for being 79. Remember, anybody who's hanging with us for the first time, please put FTL in the chat. Makeup Addict, how you doing? Hey, Rochelle, thank you for being 79. Put FTL in the chat for first time live so we can welcome you guys. Belicious is here. She's 89. That's my girl. I love me some Belicious. Sister, where you been? And I don't, what you call this name? MWOG 91. I'm glad you made it too. I ain't seen you in a long time. Girl, holla at me. Hyper, thank you for being 97. All right. Them likes getting better. They getting better. Auntie Eva, congratulations on your 61-month royal anniversary. You are new? Oh, well, welcome. Listen, y'all, let's get it popping. I need y'all to spam the chat with the word welcome, because Trey is new. Okay, now the first time, you knew. After that, you cousin Trey. Okay, how you doing? And welcome. We so glad I'm so glad we got you. And we so glad to have you. Make sure you subscribe so you can come back. I'm glad you jumped in, Hyper. Blessed by God. How you doing? How are you? Thank you for being 98, girl. Happy Sunday, sis. Texas Passion. How you doing, girl? Thank you for being 102. All right. Y'all keep hitting the like button. Run me up. Y'all make sure y'all spam the chat with a welcome for Trey. Say these live in these labs. You just getting out the ER. Yes, we will. Listen, God is a healer. He's a healer. He ain't just providing, he healing too. And you gonna be healed too. Kimberly Day, thank you for being 112, girl. Y'all come on, let's get this thing going. Let's get this thing going. Nice to me. Thank you for being 108. Yanni, happy Sunday. DT, that's my baby all the way from New Zealand. Hope all is well. Please make sure you take time to like this video as we talk about the Housewives of Atlanta. I'll be on and off because he's at work. Okay? I love you right back. And thank y'all for spamming the chat with the word welcome. Y'all know how important it is to make sure that we welcome folks that are new. Okay? Everybody been new somewhere before, and you want to feel welcome. Nobody should feel tolerated. Everybody should feel welcome. Okay? You listen, we're tickled to have you, baby. We tickled to have you. We are. We really, really are. That's right. So look, we finna get into these here notes because we got a lot of them. To get through tonight. This ain't finna be no easy ride. We got the road. That's right. Be healed in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Amen. Because he the one. You might go get a pill, but if he don't say it's so, it won't be so. Jones in the house. How you doing, sis? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. That's right. That's right. Amen. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So look, we got to talk about some women that act like they don't know him. I ain't judging nobody, but y'all know I ain't lying. These women on Atlanta act like they don't know him. They act like they ain't never met him. But we sure gonna talk about what they was talking about on their reunion tonight. Now I got my throw around my shoulders because it's one of my nights where I'm, got a little chill going. But we gonna get on into it. Jones in the house. Thank you for being like number 120. I know good and well we ain't got 50 people in here ain't hit the like button. I know that ain't what's going on. And the reason I know that ain't what's going on, because I know good and well y'all ain't trying to treat me like that. I know y'all not trying to treat me like that. I just know it. We got a lot to do. We got a lot to get through. Meanwhile, there's no reason that I should have to be stopping to beg for 50 likes. Now, 10 or 20, I can take. Some of y'all may be driving or something, and that makes sense, right? But what don't make sense is for me to have 50 people that refuse to hit a like button. I work too hard for y'all to treat me like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Right, Belicious. Tell them again. It's easy to hit the like button. Don't treat me like that. Because I wouldn't do you like that. Ain't no way I come in your house and wouldn't speak to you. Because that's what that amounts to. When y'all go on somebody live stream and refuse to hit a like button, that's the equivalent of walking in somebody's house and refusing to say hello. Don't do that. Don't do that. And I mean it. That's just ugly. Don't do that. Don't do that. More Than Beauty, thank you for being number 121. How you been, girl? I'm always happy to see you. Lady RHOA, thank you for being 123. I appreciate you. Okay. Y'all hit the like button because I'm telling you, we don't have time for Duolingo. We got too many notes. Being real with you. We got too many notes for that foolishness tonight. Okay, Robin Powell, how you doing? Welcome, sis. TG, what's happening, sister? How you doing? Thank you for being number 99. Summer break over. Okay, listen, shout out to the teachers. I don't know how y'all deal with them children, but listen, we couldn't make it if y'all didn't, because then women have to keep them children home, and each children is a pain in the tail, and some of them bad as hell. Okay, so shout out to the teachers. Y'all show the teachers some love up in here, because I'm telling you, we couldn't do nothing without them. Not nothing. Hey, Michelle Gray, how you doing, girl? Hit the like button for me. Hey, it's Tish. How you? Thank you for being 132. Okay, y'all keep running my likes up. Stay on top of them, please. Okay, so, hey, Symmetry. Thank you for being 133. All right, Party Capricorn. Thank you for being 131. I appreciate y'all. Okay, listen, y'all greet folks. If I miss somebody, don't y'all miss them. Make sure y'all greeting folks as they come in, please. Thank you. All right, so the reunion started tonight, as we all know. Now, last week, I told y'all I was literally hoping. VJ, thank you for being 133. I was hoping deep down on the inside part that we was going to get a week off, but we didn't. We got the finale last week, and the god doggone reunion started this week. We didn't have like a break week in between, nothing like that. I don't know why we didn't get no break, but we did. We didn't get nothing look like a break, right? So reunion started like it always do. We get the ladies walking in. Now, what's interesting is we didn't get as much time of them backstage that I think. This is just my opinion. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think we got as much time with the ladies backstage getting ready as we normally do. Like, it wasn't a lot of story backstage. Like, it was a little bit, but not a lot. One thing I noticed was they showed the Jarvis man or whatever. If that's the same man, I don't think that was the same man that was at Shamia party. It could have been, but something looked a little different to me. But, you know, anything done in the dark gonna come to the light. That's all I'm gonna say. So we get Cynthia, you know, getting ready in the back. And she was like, it's the calm before the storm. And I believe it, because they gave us a storm tonight, y'all. Hood started saying, no, we didn't. It was brief. Yeah, I thought so. I thought the time backstage this time seemed really, really, really, really brief. Okay. And yeah, so it wasn't just me. Y'all noticed that, right? So Cynthia says the calm before the storm. We see Pinky got a fresh coat of bleach on her head and everything. Bernita. Hey, Bernita. How you doing, sis? Thank you for being like number 141, and welcome, welcome, welcome. This your first time with us? Let us know so we can welcome you, okay? Yeah, I thought it was very interesting. And so, yeah, that didn't look like the same man at all. He was a different height. His belly wasn't as big. When he was the man that was at Shamia party had a little bit of a pot belly on him. That didn't look like the same dude at all. But, you know, again, ain't you know, not my monkey, not my show. Ain't my man. I don't know who the man was, but that did not look like the same man, height, stature, belly, nothing, as the person that she had at Shamia's party with that Iron Man suit on. I don't know who that man was. Dude, even the dude at the party had like a little gait where he was kind of like, he rocked when he walked a little bit. That dude didn't look like the same guy at all. I'm just gonna put it out there. Pinky with a fresh coat of bleach on her head. Which is kind of funny to me, as much as she talk about everybody doing their hair like it's a crime to get your hair done. Meanwhile, you sitting up here stripping the strands of your hair, got them porous as hell because you don't want to wear your real hair color. But it's somehow a crime if these ladies wear extensions or wigs or whatever. Like that's the crime, right? But anyway, so here she go with a fresh coat of bleach white. Or pure white. Ain't no telling which one she had on. One of them. Kelly was over there talking about her dress didn't fit yesterday and her coochie was showing, and said it was another chance for Phaedra to call her a prostitute. Maybe we missed the part where Phaedra called her a prostitute, or maybe we'll find out later what she meant by that, because I know on the show we never saw Phaedra call her a prostitute. We absolutely did see Phaedra buy her a bra and call it the breastplate of righteousness, because the counselor knows that it don't look good going into court with your nipples pointing at the judge, not when you trying to get a ruling in your favor. That just ain't the smartest thing to do, if we gonna be honest, right? So then we get Porsha and Andy, they back there, you know, singing, playing around. We saw that in the sneak peek or the trailer for the reunion, right? Oh, Brittany Janae, thank you for the super chat. It's my first support of the whole night. She said, hey, Auntie, how's your Sunday going? This reunion was too much for me. It was too much for me too, baby. And thank you for supporting the channel. It was a lot. It was a lot. We got 15 pages of notes, so you know it was a lot, okay? And basically they ended all that playing and we gonna go naked and all that, with him saying that he felt like it was a chance for her to leave the reunion in a better place with everybody on that stage except Shamia. And she was like, yeah, I agree with that. You know, so she made it clear up front she had absolutely no intention on leaving that reunion in a better place with Shamia. And a lot of people say with good reason. I'm one of the people. I'm a lot of the people. Okay. I'm one of the people that feel like, yeah, no. You just being real. You can't call my mama no hoe and we gonna be friends. I'm just gonna be honest with you, baby. Ain't no point in me lying to you about nothing of the sort. Ain't no way in hell. Okay. So then we get to the set, okay? That's when we find out that it was indeed them trying to make it look like Scotland some kind of way. I guess that's why they picked the colors. The colors just seem odd to me because, well, no, let me think about it. I guess if you really think about it, right, it's a matter of plaid. Yeah, makes sense. And I think the last plaid that they wore, tartan, they called it over there. You know, America, we just say plaid, but they be saying tartan. Okay. I think the one that they wore to the party might have had green, black, and gold in it. Maybe that's why they had the ladies in green, black, and gold. I still haven't exactly figured that out, but you know, that was the set. Pinky came out first and plopped down in that chair and was like, "Ooh, did y'all catch me on camera doing that? Girl, you is pregnant. You's pregnant." Okay. And it looked like she done got to the stage of pregnancy where you just be uncomfortable and it's difficult to move around. Okay. I done had a few children, so I understand. Too adorable. Thank you for being 147. Okay. It's a little difficult to be getting up and down and stuff. And sometimes pregnancy and getting down just mean make it down there any which way you can. Okay. So she got on down there. K. Michelle came out. Kelly came out. Angela came out. Then Phaedra, Shamia, Porsha, and Drew. Okay. That's the order they came out in as far as I could tell. Andy said that this might be the best dress ATL reunion. He told Shamia he liked to dress. At least somebody did. Then we get an extra chair there, and they say, who the extra chair for? So I'm like, hell, I'm invested. Well, who is the extra chair for? And they're going to make a joke talking about it was for Blak. I say, oh, you petty and messy as hell. You know good and well you not bringing that man there. And so everybody was like, are you for real? And he said, no, I'm just joking. Thank God. Thank God. Wait a minute. Somebody. Nap Queen New Orleans sent me a cash app with the picture again. Oh, can y'all see? Hold on. This phone, I know how to drop the thing. I don't know if that helped. I got a gummy bear. Still can't see it. Golly. Let me send the heart. Thank you so much, Nap Queen New Orleans. Thank you, sissy. So look. So he made a joke about that. He made a joke about Mr. Clean and Papa Smurf. Hey, Summer Rain. Welcome. Thank you for being like number 148. If this is your first time hanging with us, please make sure you put FTL for first time live so we can welcome you in the chat. Claudia's T was right. I don't think anybody thought Claudia was wrong. They just thought it was inappropriate to try to spray somebody else's pregnancy. Let them people tell their own story. But y'all know Claudia Clawfoot Jordan ain't never been classy. Now she's something else with a C that we call colorist, but classy is not the adjective that start with a C that we've ever used for Claudia Jordan. Okay. Say that, yeah, the look on their faces when he said Blak was one of a kind. I mean, one of a doggone kind. You hear what I say? Them people was not ready for that, and neither was I. Because when he first said, I'm like, Blak, I know you lying. I know you lying to me. But anyway, so he got got his little corny jokes off because he always trying to throw a couple of jokes in there, and that ain't his place to do. But he always try to do it. I guess he think he funny. Hey, Cassandra Zika, thank you for being 154. Antoinette said Claudia spoiled the announcement and it wasn't her song to sing. It was not. She literally took all of the wind out the lady's sails. You took all of the bang out of her announcement, and that should have been hers to announce. And I don't like Stanky Panky, but I do love to see Black families make more cute little Black babies. So shout out to y'all, and I pray that she has a healthy pregnancy, a healthy delivery, and may she deliver like the Hebrew women. That's the best I can say. I hope that baby is healthy. I hope that the child has got 10 fingers, 10 toes, and delights his or her parents. Connie Johnson, thank you for being 157. Yeah, we could have waited on that. Just anticipate. Thank you for being 156. So then Andy goes straight to Porsha. He's greeting all the ladies. He had his little comments for everybody. And hey, Cass, thank you for being 159. So he tells Porsha happy pride, and she was like, oh yeah, see, that's how you say it without shade. I say, coming in hot. I said, coming in hot. So she said, yeah, that's how you say it, Andy, with no shade. Because, she was referring to when Shamia had said it on that podcast, happy pride, trying to be funny. And I still say, I don't think it's safe in the water for Shamia. I think she need to be quiet on the creek. And it looked like this reunion, she didn't get the memo that she need to be quiet on the creek. Her and Kelly, loud on the creek. Okay. He told Phaedra, you added dressage and floaters to the show, and then apparently she had sat down with Jasmine Crockett, but they didn't show it. And thank God, I don't care what nobody think. I didn't want to see that woman on my screen. Okay. I barely want to see the cast members, so I'm glad we didn't get that. A little clip at the reunion was just fine. And we found out from her that she's going to run for politics. Hell, with some of the clowns that we got in American politics, Phaedra will be just fine running for politics. And y'all know a whole lot of our politicians are lawyers, so it only makes sense. Political Junkie, thank you for being like number 162. Makes a lot of sense, right? So then we get to Drew, and he calls her the anthem superstar. I said, and they mentioned her nip and tuck. This fool quickly said, well, Phaedra's like, oh, she got a little booty. She said, well, it's not leaking, so I guess it's okay. He got to Shamia and told her, asked her if he should mime what he's saying to her. And she's like, well, she didn't. I don't think Shamia really knew what to say to that. So she's asking him, well, how would you mime it? Shamia, you the one introduced miming to the show, baby. You'd have to tell him. Y'all remember that early on in the season when she was pretending like she was so shocked that Porsha invited her to her house in episode 1. And hey, Sakai, thank you for being 164. And she was trying to mime the text argument she had with Porsha. Y'all remember that? So that's what he was referring to. He got to Angela mentioned Game 5 and her jersey dress. That jersey dress was fire. It really was fire. Angela really looked good in that dress too. She really, really did. That's why I say Angela ain't no big lady. She just a tall lady. But she, because in that jersey dress, I was looking at Angela like, what waist? Do she have a waist? Did she ever have a waist? Like she really looked good in that jersey dress. Kelly, he asked her what she was wearing and made a joke about that Tom Ford t-shirt because that was tragic. Got the K. Michelle and Puddin in her first Bravo reunion. And then Pinky and her being the vegan with the meaty season. Sheila Donaldson, welcome, girl. Thank you for being like number 167. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, that jersey dress was lit. I ain't gonna lie. That was lit. Yeah, Shamia was miming. She was miming. She was trying to act out the text messages, doing making faces and jerking her neck around. All of that, right? So it was about this time that we find out from Andy that he want to do something new. He want to try something new. Okay. So on top of having viewer questions, or as I say, fan questions, he had each cast member submit 2 questions for somebody else on the cast. So immediately we see Porsha saying hated it, because apparently she didn't like to have to ask no questions. And she probably was cringing on what some people might end up asking her. But that's when we found that out. And I say, what a way to shake it up. And I'm not really mad at it, to be honest. Porsha may hate it, but I don't. Because a lot of times when you leave it to Andy Cohen and his production team or whatever, and they pull questions from viewers, they never pull the questions that the viewers really want to hear. Andy and them pull questions that they want to ask to steer the conversation the way they want it to go. By you having the castmates ask questions, we got a better chance of getting some answers, or at least getting some action on some of the stuff we seen during the season that got glossed over, in my opinion. Okay. Hey, Carrie, thank you for being 169, girl. Yeah, Vet, I thought that was a real good idea. Okay. So then we get to, Andy talking about the lesbian cornucopia movies. And they talked about all that, and him, Andy always goes so far into the homosexual talk. And, Angela, Phaedra, and Shamia, y'all never, had relations with a woman. And Porsha still make that face every time they say it. Porsha make that face like she knows something. And I'm going to say this. If Porsha knows something and she still ain't said nothing, you really are the MVP. That's given even on Mad Day, you don't go spilling people tea. Because after that girl called your mama a hoe, I'm like, girl, we see you took the gloves off. take the socks and shoes off too. Let it all fly. But apparently she ain't. So Shamia was like, well, yeah, well, I kissed one before, even in a movie. Porsha ain't part her lips, but her face was loud. Her face was real, real, real loud. Okay. So then Andy asked, I guess it was like recap questions. Andy asked Drew about her the pelvic floor therapy or whatever. They kept saying, what they were saying. I'm not finna say that. And so Drew was explaining about the people massaging the muscles of the pelvic floor. And Phaedra was pointing out that sometimes women, can have that happen and you could actually see it falling out, which is true. You can actually see it visibly without even digitally going to check the cuff. You can see it. And so Andy, like, I don't know what y'all talking about, but really, in that moment, I kind of felt like, Andy, you didn't know anything about women's health, reproductive health, anything like that. So why would you even ask that question? Did you think it was just going to be jokes when we're talking about women's health? Nobody's going to get therapy for their pelvic floor to get massaged for funsies or because it's a fun conversation piece. These are things that really happen to women and their bodies. And I like that the ladies tried to keep it at least on one couch, tried to keep the conversation real about the fact that this is what happens to women. Now, Sunshine snitching on y'all. It's 100 people in here that have not hit the like button. Do we need to do a Turkish lesson? I don't want to stop to do a Turkish lesson, but please let me know in the chat if we should. Speak now or forever hold your peace, because it looks like that's the direction we're going in. I got a lot to cover. I don't want to beg, but if it's 100 people sitting in my house and you couldn't be bothered to hit a like button and say hello, then we need to do a Turkish lesson. So please, I'm gonna give y'all a couple of seconds to figure out what you want to do. Yvette said, yes, my old manager had the surgery. I think she called it pelvic floor prolapse. Yep, it completely fell out. Yes, that can absolutely happen to women. And I think that we need to be very open about these things. I think we need to normalize these conversations and not turn them into jokes, because there's no joke about women's health. The fact that women's health is ignored, made fun of, made light of, used as jabs and insults, that's one reason why, in my opinion, the medical establishment has been able to completely ignore the things that are important to women and their bodies, even though they want to take control of our bodies and force women to be incubators to continue men's family lines. My sweet, hey girl, thank you for being 177. Cool gamer, always cool, always up in here. How you doing? So glad to see you. Hit the like button. Yeah, Andy needs to get it together. You asking a question like you thought it was going to be a joke. And then when the ladies start talking about it intelligently, oh, I have no idea what y'all talking about. So why the hell did you ask? It's okay not to know because you're a man, but the dismissive, I don't know what y'all talking about. Why did you bring it up? Oh, I know, because you think it's a joke to talk about the things that women suffer after bringing life into this awful place we call Earth. Y'all know Earth is ghetto. Y'all know Earth is ghetto. Nicola. All right, you from Trinidad. We got us a Caribbean sister up in here tonight. How you doing, sister? Welcome, welcome, and welcome again. All right, it's some beautiful sisters down there in the Caribbean. Welcome, welcome. Brandon say 100 definitely justifies a Turkish lesson, as much as I don't want to say it. People think they could just treat me bad and I ain't gonna say nothing. Zeline, how you doing? Yes, honey. Pelvic floor prolapse is a real thing. It absolutely is. Bridget Nicole, how you doing, girl? Blue Devil, babe, thank you for being 183. Yeah, we definitely got 100 people that refuse to hit the like button. Gaby said, when I worked as a CNA at a long-term care facility, I had one patient that this happened to. The RN literally had to push it back in there when we had to give a pericare. That's real. That's real. And that's tough. It's really tough, but I did not like Andy Cohen's dismissive attitude about women's health after you brought it up like you thought it was going to be a topic to joke about. Kiro TV, thank you for hitting the like button when you came in. Yes, Earth is so ghetto. Earth is so ghetto. That's why I'm looking forward to going to heaven. That is why I'm looking forward to it. I'm so tired of this ghetto Earth, okay? Ladies, we miss you so much. My sis got her crown back. She got her crown back, and we miss you. I hope you're doing good. I hope your family's good. I just want you to know we love you and we miss you, girl. We so happy to see you. I was worried about you. So happy to see my girl. So yeah, Marge, you want to give me a like count and let me know what we doing? Because if we ain't doing what we supposed to be doing, you know what we about to be doing. You know what we about to be doing. Mm-hmm. Don't worry. I have no problem. I have no problem whatsoever. None. You know, because I want to be very fluent in my Turkish. I don't want to be stumbling. Especially with my pronunciation. Y'all know I got a bad habit of letting that old nasty Southern drawl get mixed in with them other people languages. Mm-hmm. That's all right. Y'all figure out them likes, and I'm gonna go ahead and work on my vocabulary real quick. İyi. Görüşürüz. Mm-hmm. Akşamlar. Mm-hmm. Evet. Hayır. All right.
Hala.
Okay. Hala. Okay. Etek.
Daha.
Mm-hmm.
Evet.
Oh, shoot.
Evet.
Mm-hmm.
Hayır.
İyi.
Mm-hmm.
Giyeriz.
Giyeriz. Okay.
Giyerim.
Görüşürüz.
Pastane.
Akşamlar.
Batı. Eşek.
Okay.
Hala.
Görüşürüz.
80.
80.
Evet.
Evet.
Okay. Genelde.
Genelde.
Okay. 9.
9.
Akşamlar.
Akşamlar.
Pastane.
Pastane.
Okay. Hayır.
Hayır.
Giyerim.
Giyerim.
Metro.
Metro.
Etek.
Etek.
Pazar.
Pazar.
Daha.
Daha.
Batı.
Batı.
Eşek.
Eşek.
Hafta.
Hafta.
İyi.
İyi.
Giyeriz.
Giyeriz.
Veya.
Veya.
Doğum. All right. What them likes looking like? Are we getting better? We getting better? Okay, that's a little bit better. Yes, evet is yes. Mm-hmm. And hayır is no. Mm-hmm. I'm getting better, y'all. I'm getting better. Better and betterer. I just got to do better with the pronunciation. I be struggling. All right. Yeah, and production showing Drew's pre-surgery pictures were diabolical. It was diabolical. That was so terrible. They ain't had to do that lady like that. He said, sound like my Turkish vocab is on point. I got one wrong. I don't care if they dropped off. If you don't want to hit the like button, I'd rather you leave. Because ain't no reason for nobody to be treating me bad. I don't treat nobody bad. No. Absolutely not. So if they got to leave because they don't want to hit the like button, please leave. And let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you. Oh. That's right. Andy need to stay in his lane because women be going through stuff like that. That's our real lives. It's not cannon fodder for jokes. That's what we really be going through. Okay. I remember a neighbor shouting in her garden and I always thought she was calling me. Oh, that's so cute. She was saying, yes, I love it. Right, isn't it? They would rather leave than to be respectful. And that's fine. I'm not mad at you. Like, I'm really okay with that. If you would rather leave than be respectful, then I respect your decision. Belisha said, I believe Drew posted them pics on her IG. She did, but that was Instagram and not, national TV. That was a little tough. Mm-hmm. Right. I know, baby. I know. Hey, T Monique, thank you for being 162. So let's get on into it. Y'all keep hitting the like button because, we can always stop for more Turkish. So anywho, after that and him being dismissive about, women's health, because apparently, our bodies are cannon fodder for jokes. God forbid we have a real conversation about things that actually happen to women. And I'm not saying we got to be serious all the time. We could be lighthearted, but take it seriously, because this is women's lives. And you would think a network that build their backs off of women being ensemble cast on reality shows, and you claiming you want, real life stories, like real story from these women's lives, that you would actually care about the people you make your money off of, the people you selling these ad spots off of. But you don't want to know nothing about their bodies, their health, the things that they go through as humans. If this don't show y'all that to the majority of the American public, that we're not even human to them, we're just here, especially men, that we're not even human to them. We're just here to either make them some money to be their entertainment, or to stroke their egos and make them feel like they more than what they are. Okay. Hey, my question, your answer. Thank you for being 205. You and E. Davis. Thank you, boo. Anybody new, please let us know in the chat so we can welcome you. If anybody tells y'all in the chat they're new, please, y'all, spam the chat with the word welcome. Okay. So yeah, that had happened. And I was very annoyed, but it is what it is, right? So he dismissed them talking about women's health because, of course, it wasn't a joke, right? And they asked about Blak again, and Drew gave him like a surface answer about Blak. And then Andy went to Phaedra's question because it was about Blak. So he really wanted to get into the Blak of it all. And so he got Phaedra's question, like with everything going on with Blak right now, as y'all still messing with him. Thank you, Brandon, for being a real ally. Okay. Hey, Breesh. And so Drew was like, what's the question? I don't get it. So Phaedra just was like, look, I want to know is, you still trying to get chomped on by Blak? Now, the question came from Andy, written by Phaedra, directed at Drew. Tell me why K. Michelle jumping in, chomped and scammed. My thing is this: for K. Michelle to be somebody that claims she don't want to be connected with Blak in no way, shape, form, or fashion, why is it every time Blak name is mentioned, she jumping in? What it got to do with you? Now, when the question get directed at you, that's one thing. But they directed the question at Drew. Why your mouth open? Miss, I don't want to be associated with him. I beg to differ. I believe you do want to be associated with him, so you can, make your comments. That's all well and good. If your husband like it, I love it. But I just thought that was a little weird. So she talking about chomped and scammed. And then, of course, you got Kelly and Shamia over there sniggling. King. And it's like y'all whole couch over there miserable as hell. I knew from right then, I say, oh, this finna be one of them nights. So you got some people that understand the reunion flow, laugh, jab, keep it moving. Hey, Belize and JB, thank you for being 207. Laugh, jab, keep it moving. And you got the miserable couch that think that all they there to do is to make nasty comments and take jabs at people all night. Like not being fun or lighthearted, just chomped and scammed. Spare us, please, right? So anyway, nobody responded to her but Kelly and Shamia, because that's all they can do is sit there and sniggle. So then Drew was like, oh, ain't been no chomping, but they trying to build a friendship. So Porsha was like, you building a friendship, really? Like she don't believe her. And I'm like, okay, Porsha, stay out that girl business. Because I'm going to tell y'all this. Porsha act like she trying to force Drew out of somebody's closet. Now, I'm just going to say it. That's what it looked like to me. I felt that way when she first introduced Patrice / Sway, whatever y'all want to call her. I'm going to call her Patrice because I don't like these nicknames. However, when she first introduced them, she was like, gonna tell Drew, like, what she say? I don't know, when you gonna live in your truth or something like that. Because Drew was like, oh, you live in my life, or, something to that effect. But I'm just like, Porsha, you can't force that girl out no closet. Maybe she not in the same closet you was in. Maybe she was just curious and playing around. Hey, BWN. Oh, Brown Sugar. I figured that out. How you doing? Welcome, honey. Thank you for being 208. And so I'm just like, that maybe she not in the same closet you was in, Porsha. And even if she is in the same closet you in, why you think you the one to pull her out, to let that girl live her life the way she want to live it. Because Porsha, you was dipping and dapping like everything was happening, and ain't nobody forced you out no closet. You came out when you got ready. Tell them again, Belicious. Look how long it took for you to, as you say, live in your truth, and it's so beautiful and it's so wonderful and blah blah smackety. That ain't what you was saying when you was going with men you didn't like. You went and married a whole old man with a broken Johnson. That's how much you didn't want to hunch men no more. You found an old man who Johnson didn't even work. Come on now, Porsha. Leave Drew alone. I can't believe I'm saying that because y'all know I can't stand Drew. But leave Drew alone, Porsha. Leave her alone because I caught that, okay? Then here come Kelly. Wait a minute. You said you love that man. Kelly, you're not even friends with Drew. Why your mouth open? And then here comes Shamia chiming in. Mind you, I'm sitting here like, y'all the people complain about anybody else saying anything, but y'all chiming in on the conversation you're not a part of. At least Porsha and her is fake friends or real friends. I don't know what kind of friends they is, but at least they associate with each other. Phaedra associate with her. It was Phaedra's question. Andy asking, Angela supposedly her friend. The conversation didn't include nobody on that couch. But meanwhile, I want y'all to keep track of all the cut-ins from, the couch misery. The couch of misery. You got K. Michelle jumping in. You got Kelly jumping in. You got Shamia jumping in. And then when Shamia jumped in, she lied on the girl. Shamia gonna jump in and say, you said you love him. You said you was in love with him. Drew said, no, I did not. Yes, you did. Only for production to play what the girl said. And she did not say she was in love with him. She said saying you love somebody in love with the person is two different things, which it is. And I'm sitting there like, dang, Shamia, you jumping in conversations ain't got nothing to do with you, and you randomly lying on people. At this point, y'all about to make me think Shamia may know she lying sometime, but I'm starting to think that maybe Shamia don't know she be lying all the time. Maybe she know about some of the lies, but she don't know all the lies because she was like loud and wrong, like wrong and strong with it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Shut up. She didn't. Ew. You still ain't been held accountable for messing up that good fabric, making that dress like that. Anyway, so then Andy was asking her again the most inappropriate questions. Gonna ask Drew, well, have you consummated the relationship with the man? Drew said no, it's just been friendly. Said she newly divorced. She freshly divorced, right? So she say, if you ain't been in her bedroom, you don't know whether it happened, didn't happen, whatever, yada yada, right? So then here come Kay again with the jump in, whispering to Kelly. That mean that they having sex. Just weird. I'm like, you are so obsessed with Drew, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it doesn't make sense. Not the hair and the makeup is irking you, girl. I ain't mad. You done throw DS to the corner already. Red say Shamia lied a lot. She just know people gonna make her a victim. Hello. I couldn't believe it. The reunion hadn't been on 20 minutes. Shamia done lied already. Brandon say the fabric was stunning up under them lights. I love that fabric. I'm just mad that she messed that fabric up with that dress. That was wrong. Poetic Lyrics say she lies so much she can't keep up, or she just started to believe them. I feel sorry for her brain. Something wrong with her. I don't know what it is, but something ain't right. So then Kelly say, yeah, they effing right. And I'm thinking, how would y'all know? Why do you want to know? Drew has got to be one of the least interesting people I've ever seen in my life. And y'all up here acting like y'all actually interested in who Drew Sidora is sleeping with. Please let me off. Whatever ride we on, somebody let me off, okay? So anyway, after that inappropriate, weird, cringy, disrespectful bullcrap, that whole thing that went down, right? So then here come Kay gonna get loud, directing it at Drew. So he never poked the hole. Just nasty. So Phaedra was like, well, Phaedra tried to make it a joke, but Phaedra always inappropriate. So she was like, well, has he given you physical therapy? At least it got it back on the jokey side of things, but it was a lot. I'm like, dang, Drew, stand up. Why are you letting these women talk all up under your clothes? The way I would have read them hookers, the riot act would have been epic, and they probably would have taught a college course on it over there at Harvard. They say nobody Drew. All she has is pretty privilege, and I don't even know where that come from. Don't start me. Shamia hair is pretty or short. Yes, it is. Magic. Is it much? Tell me how you say your name, baby. But you're right. Her hair is much prettier, shorter. Yeah, Phaedra for the win. Phaedra brought it back to jokes, and that kind of cleared it up a little bit, made it look cool. And so after that, she, Porsha, was basically like, have you found who you actually do want to be with? And Drew said she got to find somebody that she is comfortable introducing and having around her children. Porsha was like, okay, tenfold, she got it. Here come K. Michelle jumping in again. Mind you, you don't know nothing about Drew children. Porsha asked that girl who she, has she even figured out who she want to be with? And I feel like that was a loaded question, because I felt like Porsha asking that question, have you figured out who you want to be with? Porsha, you're still trying to insinuate that in your mind, Drew want to be with women. This is what I'm saying. If Drew is still sneaking around with Ty or any other woman, well and good, she's grown, right? As long as she's not bringing them people around her kids, whose business is it? That's the next part. And then the part after that, Porsha, you were sneaking around with women when you wanted to sneak around with women, and nobody was forcing you out of the closet. I'm not comfortable with the way Porsha feel like she's got some kind of carte blanche, like now because you decided that you can reenact or you could join the YMCA band. You got on rainbows, you rainbow fever. Now somehow you the rainbow police. You get to go pulling everybody out the closet and throwing cooches on everybody. You done decided you don't want no more dangalangs. All you want is cooches. Leave Drew alone. Maybe she up in the air. D, thank you for being 219. Oh, it's a name backwards. Okay. I can't say it, but I'm going to say Mrs. I could say Mrs. Okay. Yeah, it's just weird. And I really want her to stop doing that. I don't like it. And what I don't like even further is that Drew Sidora, or Drew Sidummy as I call her, you sitting up there letting these people play with you. Why you ain't checked Porsha? At this point, I'm going to start thinking that you scared Porsha going to repossess them wigs and you're going to have to go back to wearing them helmets again. You need to talk up and tell Porsha, girl, stop trying to pull me out the closet. You just got out 30 seconds ago, your goddamn self. Okay, let that girl make up her mind on her own. If that's the direction she want to go in, she might play around and decide that ain't the life for her. But leave that girl alone, okay? So anyway, moving right along. But Drew, stand up for real. Because at this point, if I hadn't seen Angela and hadn't seen some real Chicago girls that be in my chat and stuff, I would think all y'all girls from up there is full of crap. Because I'm from Chicago. I'm Southside. And you sitting up here letting people punk you and play you and talk all up under your clothes and clown you like you don't know who been in your coochie. And if you like men and women, why you letting them people talk to you like that? Are you cool? Now, if you scared about the wigs, that's one thing. Phaedra ain't holding none of your wigs hostage. And neither is K. Michelle, Kelly, or Shamia. Come on. Stand up, baby. Stand up. So anyway, so after that, K. Michelle talking about, but that man ain't the one. He gonna have your children running from the police. Don't speak on her children at all. Don't speak on that woman children at all, K. Michelle. You worry about your son. You got one. Take care of your son. Don't worry about that girl and her children. Leave him alone, okay? So then Andy asked about his legal issues and stuff. And she said, how she felt about it. She said it's devastating because he's a good guy. I'm sitting there, bull crap, because he ain't no good guy. We seen all the evidence from the lady that had loaned him them $300,000, the Lala Milan from social media where he got them $20,000 or $25,000. And that lady, Claudia Gregory, which is Drew's sister-in-law, that Drew borrowed money from and didn't pay back, and that lady had to sue her. And he got, I think it was $69 or $70,000 from her. And them women got receipts, proof, and everything. That man scammed 3 different sisters out of all their money and then went to talking trash when they wanted their money back. Okay? That's it. That's all. So she talking about he's a good guy. And I'm like, Kay, shut up. Maybe you think he's a good guy because he scammed the same lady you scammed. Your sister-in-law. Your brother-in-law's little sister. You put your own sister in a strange situation because she married into that family and you scammed her husband's little sister. Okay? So when Drew said that, I'm like, see, this is why I don't like you, Drew, because you full of crap all day long and twice on Sundays. So anyway, then Andy said, well, to K. Michelle, well, what's your reaction to it? And I feel like at this point, Andy got to ask Kay for her reaction because anytime you mention Blak, her mouth fly open. Like she heard a zipper or something. Why is your mouth open every time you hear Blak for somebody who claims you don't want to be associated or connected to Blak? So at this point, I'm like, well, they ain't White Powder Ranger. Shout out to you. Ask her reaction. So when he asked her that, she's like, that's why I ain't want to be connected with him because he likes to scam and he like to take money from Black women, which that's all true. We covered that on this channel. If you're looking for it, the video's up. I don't take nothing down. So Drew was like, well, that's a heavy thing to say with no evidence. And I'm sitting there like, Drew, shut the hell up. Shut the entire hell up. There is evidence. There is evidence. Okay. And so Kay said, no, it's a lot of evidence out there, which is true. It is a lot of evidence out there. So Drew talking about, well, clearly you've been gossiping behind the scenes because you did an endorsement with one of the people that's accusing him. But before she could get that out, I think Kay thought she was about to lie and say she did endorsement for Blak. So Kay was like, I ain't did no hookah endorsement. I don't smoke no hookah. She said, I heard he pay a lot, but I ain't never smoked no hookah. So that's when we find out she's saying that Kay did an endorsement for one of the ladies, which is the one, B. Marie, which is the one that he scammed $300,000 from. Okay. So at that point, so she's talking about that means you've been gossiping, you did a lot of gossiping behind the scenes. That wasn't gossiping behind the scenes. And K. Michelle cleared that up. She said, no, ma'am, that was all on the Shade Room. The Shade Room did a whole expose on him stealing the money, which they did. And again, we covered it on this channel, right? And then production showed the clip of the article from the Shade Room. Justin, what's his name? Justin Tyler, whatever the man named that be doing the interviews and the exposés on the Shade Room, right? So anywho, after that, and production showed everything, and then Kay went back to being full of crap. So that's why I can't take no sides between K. Michelle and Drew, because they both full of crap. Even though the majority of the season, K. Michelle was targeting Drew for no apparent reason. I just don't get it, other than you was trying to do a hit job for Shamia, period, right? So she was like, well, that's, you tried to connect me to him. And Drew said, I absolutely did not. There's no evidence of me trying to connect you to him. And Kay over there, oh, you do stuff off camera. That girl ain't tried to connect you to him, Kay. Because if it was off camera, you would have said that during the season. Cosmic Queen, thank you for being 230. Okay. And then she pulls out this stupid director's clapboard telling her to cut it, you acting or whatever like that. Hood Star, I totally agree. Drew should have just shut up because there's so much proof of him scamming. So much proof of him scamming. Like, cut it, please. So then everybody clowned Drew for having the prop because it was corny as hell. And I'm personally tired of Drew with her props. Dog bone peaches, not a clapboard. Like, it never does what you think it's doing. Okay. So then Shamia was like, gonna ask Drew, well, did you invest with him? Did he take money from you? Shamia, why are you talking? Did he take some money from you? What does got to do with you? At least her and K. Michelle been beefing during the season concerning Blak. Why is your mouth open? And the only reason I'm pointing this out is because later on in the reunion, she get mad because Angela started talking when you started addressing Drew for no apparent reason, like you did just now. And it's just like you keep jumping in and inserting yourself in other people's business. But then when somebody speak to you, then it's a problem. It's a problem. Okay. Yes, and me too. Belicious saying she loved it and they had to grab that stupid prop for Porsha and Kay. That was actually pretty funny. It was. So anyway, Drew, of course, was like, yeah, no, and we've all been in the blogs, and you can tell when Drew lying because she tried to talk proper, like real proper, which is hilarious. It's like, girl, I cannot with Drew. So we've all been in the blogs, and we all need to grow up and just stop this and that and whatever. And of course, Kelly was like, well, you showed my clothes restaurant on social media, and Drew said, well, you came for my singing and acting, and I defended myself. Okay, well and good. Kelly, your restaurant was closed. You do always have your mouth open. You always talking trash about people, and your life is raggedy as a mango seed. Kelly, what did you think was gonna happen? Did you think you was gonna keep bothering Drew about her acting and her singing? You was gonna harass Angela for no apparent reason about her husband when you don't have one. You was gonna harass Porsha and call her a hoe all day, and nobody was gonna say nothing back to you. Girl, I need the name of your dealer and which brand of crack you smoking. Because this default is faulty as hell. If you thought you was gonna do all that and wasn't nobody gonna say nothing back to you, ma'am, we tired of you. I know them ladies is. Poetic Lyrics, thank you for the super chat. Say the note perfected breakdowns are always appreciated. Thank you. I appreciate you. Paige say, and thank you for supporting the channel. Paige say, such a bad actress. I said it before and I say it again. Drew should not have been asked back after her first season. She shouldn't have. I agree. I totally agree. After her first season, Drew Sidora should have been a one and done, just like Claudia Jordan. I don't care what nobody say. It was no reason for that chick to be back. And K. Michelle was still wrong for targeting her all season. Two things can be true. Okay. So anyway, after that, Kelly was like, well, I used your song in some of my videos on social media and you reposted them. And Kelly was like, it was probably the Delulu song. And then Drew called her Shakelly. And then Kelly called her P. Drewski. And I'm just like, that's dumb. That's dumb because Drew don't open her mouth every time Porsha got an issue, but you sure open your mouth every time Shamia got one. So then we get a fan question. So I was like, thank God, let's move past that because y'all working my nerves, right? So we get a fan question and they ask her about her surgery and the fact that, you know, some of the people felt like she got surgery to try to look more like Porsha. And Andy directed it at Porsha, like, how you feel about that? And Porsha was like, Drew been saying for years that she wanted to get something done to her body, which we know, because I think it was like her second season when she lied and claimed she had a mommy makeover. Like we couldn't see, she was still shaped like a special case cereal box. And she said, and everybody, you know, done had something done. Everybody, you know, want to do stuff to their body done had something done. Angela say, yeah, everybody up here done had something done. And Pinky say, not me. I got a natural pancake. And I'm like, that ain't nothing to be bragging on. I wouldn't have told nobody that. I'd have kept it to myself. And Angela told Pinky, you're an anomaly, and she is, and not in a good way. Hey, whatever you say, thank you for being 238. And so they you know, went to talking about the natural bodies or whatever and all that. And then Drew was like, well, nobody should be trying to like shame me or body shame me because I went and got surgery. And then, you know, they was like, but you made the comment about being leaky. And I said, okay, well, they got you there. They got you there. You can't say don't body shame me. And the first thing out your mouth when they mentioned you getting your body done was about a leaking booty, because we know who you was talking about, right? So anyway, then we get another fan question, and it was for Angela. And the person said, you know, Angela, you had a lot to say about Shamia's body. I didn't see what Angela had a lot to say about Shamia's body. I saw what Angela said, that she called her booty fake and said that she wanted somebody to see her BBL. Now that's what she said. Okay. So Angela was like, Angela said she's always complimented Shamia. And the person asked, was she jealous? And she was like, it's a long list of people that I would be jealous of before I ever got to Shamia. And I was like, that's shady as hell, but I guess touche, right? So of course, then here comes Shamia. Well, you call me BBL Shamia, is she BBL Drew? And I'm sitting there like, I don't remember her calling you no BBL Shamia. What? I would have remembered that, because you know that was the thing after Metro Boomin had put it out there on Drake, you know, the Snow Princess from Canada, Because remember, he was BBL Drizzy. So I would have remembered that. And I'm like, Angela ain't said nothing that clever. And sure enough, Angela said, I ain't never said that. She said, what I said was this B want us to see her BBL. Now that's what she said. And she told her, don't put words in my mouth. She said, because you got a habit of doing that. Here comes Shamia talking about, well, it's the same difference. Girl, it is not the same difference. 2 lies. We wasn't even a half hour in. I say, God dang, Shamia, you just lie at will. You will lie on somebody to their face like you did, Drew, after that Star Spangled Banner. Well, I mean, you do keep mentioning her with Blak. And the girl said, no, I didn't. What are you talking about? Shamia will lie on you, about you, like to you, about you, like you don't know what you did and what you said and where you was and who you was with a straight face. And I'm still trying to understand how she ever got a fan, unless y'all the same type of people, because I don't get it. I don't get it at all. That was weird. And then say same difference. No, it's not. Like, Shamia, stop lying. Stop lying. I swear to God, they tell me send this figures, girl. Stop. Anyway, so then after that, then we get another fan question. And they ask Kelly, where did she find Drew's picture, her pre-surgery picture? Now Kelly say, oh, it came across her timeline. If I remember correctly, after Drew, announced that she had got some work done, Drew posted the pre and the post picture. Didn't she? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember that's how it went. I promise you, I think that's how that went. I could be wrong, but I believe that's how that went. Okay? I believe. I believe. I don't want to think that's what I thought happened, right? So she said it came across her timeline or whatever like that, right? And said that her doctor did an amazing job. I think the doctor did a very good job because, baby, Drew was SpongeBob SquarePants. She lived in a pineapple under the sea. So the doctor came on in and shaped that booty up and carved out that waistline and got her looking real, shapely and arabesque. I'm like, go ahead, Drew. I like to see ladies look good. Whatever you got to do, ladies, don't do nothing dangerous to yourself. Don't hurt yourself. But anything you can do to make yourself, feel better, look good in your clothes, at your clothes, next to your clothes, do your thing, right? So I did like the compliment, even though it felt a little shady, but I did like the compliment. And so Porsha was like, well, why shame anybody's natural body? She had kids. Of course, she's going to have a little belly on her. And Kelly's like, well, I did too. Okay, but ain't nobody posting your picture pointing at your body. They should, but they didn't. And so then Drew was like, well, get online and show yours. And so Phaedra and Shamia both was like, child, Kelly stay naked. She always taking her clothes off. And it's like, but she ain't putting it online, showing people that mess. Thank God. Praise the Lord, she ain't doing that. So Kelly was like, well, I never had my body done, only my breasts. And Drew said, you need to get them undone. I said, you better preach. I ain't never said amen, and almost nothing came out Drew's mouth. But that was one time, y'all, I said, yay, man. Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen. She need to get them undone. They don't match her body. They got her looking like, a real strong Tasmanian devil. She need to pull them titties down. They look terrible. And Kelly was like, yes, I was breastfeeding, and yes, I got them done. And it's like, girl, it don't matter why you got them done. You got way too many, and you look crazy. You look crazy town. You don't have no shape, and it look a mess. It really, really do. Okay. Yeah, misproportion. That is what Drew called her now. Giovanna Yvette, hey, pretty lady. How you doing? Kelly and her hang lows need work. Don't hang them low. Lord, don't hang them low. It's hard for women out here. Okay, we have babies and our bodies change. Sometimes your body turn on you. So I understand her wanting to get something done, but getting that size, Kelly, it do look a little crazy, mama. It look a little crazy. So yeah, Kelly always looked like she about to fall over. Look like she looked like she ought to wear ankle weights everywhere she go. Square and hard looking, real hard looking. So anyway, we get past that, and I was like, well, thank goodness, that's enough. So the fan asked the newbies, what was your favorite moment? Ain't nobody answer but Panky. Panky say her favorite moment was the argument with Angela. And I'm like, you enjoyed that? That girl, if you wasn't bald, she'd have snatched you bald-headed. You enjoyed that? So they, play, the highlights from that. And Andy mentioned about them incestuous mangled teeth. And Andy asked the ladies who y'all think won. We all know Angela won that. And Porsha even clown like, girl, when you got up and sat back down, and so did K. Michelle, that was a hell of a hee. Like, I ain't never seen nobody get up to walk off and then come back and sit down. That was new. That was new. Then we get to the Porsha segment, y'all. So in the Porsha segment, they doing the back down memory lane on Porsha. All the things that didn't work out. All of them. Well, not all of them, because they left out the guy. You remember the other little athlete dude that she had got pregnant from, and that she wanted to do a baby nup, and then the baby didn't, her body didn't hold the baby and all that. Y'all remember that? But they showed Cordell, they showed Dennis and his proposal, they showed, Granddaddy Simon and all that, and they had the clip from Miss Diane saying, just the wrong dang one. Just the wrong dang one. On all of them, right? That quote. And then we get the clips of Mike and Patrice, what y'all call Sway. And so Andy told her, like, we've seen you come on the show starting off as a devoted wife and seeing you go through this journey and change. It was just so beautiful. Andy, you only think this was so beautiful because you on the rainbow train. And of course, you wanted to see one of them be on the train with you. That's the only reason you said this was so beautiful. It was not. It was not beautiful. It was not beautiful at all. Hey, you. It wasn't beautiful to watch this girl get thrown out her house by this man that she married that was using her as no beard. It was not beautiful to watch her get with this man trying to get a baby nup, and she done caught a whole baby without the benefit of marriage, lost the baby, and the man done ran off. It was not beautiful to watch her get engaged to Dennis after he made a whole big production of being engaged to her and hiring Lil Mo to sing and taking her on a helicopter to propose, only to get this girl pregnant and cheat on her while she pregnant. She done had a whole spinoff about having the baby and all that. And then they get back together and end up splitting up again. Wasn't nothing beautiful about that. And it wasn't nothing beautiful about her marrying Granddaddy Simon just so she wouldn't have to hunch no more. Because that's the only reason she married that old man, because she knew she wasn't going to have to hunch. And I don't care what nobody say. He was working them roots too, because Porsha's eyes was glassed over and glazed over like a honey baked ham. Whole got doggone time. When the spell broke, that's when she filed that divorce. Period, point blank. That's it and that's all. Wasn't none of that beautiful. None of it. Not a bit of it. What's so beautiful, Andy? Now because she going with a woman and she on the Rainbow Brigade. That's what you think is so beautiful. We don't watch that girl catch pure D hell on this show. Embarrass the dog piss out herself and her poor mama. And you talking about watching you go through all that was so beautiful. I mean, Yvette, the money go without saying. Porsha not finna talk to no man ain't got no money. And y'all should nobody in this chat talk to a man ain't got no money. Aggravating this man is. If you talking to a man and he ain't got no money, baby, you's a glutton for punishment or a masochist. Okay? Now. Anywho, moving right along. So then he asking her about it, and she talking about, oh, it just felt natural and I feel so free and I love the touch of a woman. And it. Porsha, that's weird. If you laying up with a woman, obviously you like to be touched by a woman. Why is you announcing that to us? Guess what you don't never hear a woman do that's going with a man? I just love the touch of a man. You don't have to come out here and tell us you love the touch of a woman. You up there touching on the woman and the woman touching on you. We know you obviously like it. She ain't holding you hostage. This about weird as Shamia talking about, I sleep with Jeremy Wonder every night. Who else you sleeping with? Some of this stuff is getting weird. And y'all need to stop. Okay? So anyway, after we get past Porsha's weird, cringy declaration, then Andy, asking about Patrice and all that, Sway. And then Porsha was like, well, I'm submissive in relationships, but then when they see me on TV and I guess her personality being more, what's the word I want to say? Because she's not aggressive, more assertive. She say then the men go to competing. I believe that because guess what? Men are like that. I have dealt with that in my life. Men will compete with you. When they see your strength, their first instinct is to try to be competitive or humble you or cover you or smother your light. Let me humble her down. I got to make her simmer down. But she say her being with the woman ain't doing that to her. And I can actually understand, and it makes sense why that would be way more comfortable for her, more freeing and less stressful. Okay. Who said she had a miscarriage for Cordell? I ain't said that. Maybe somebody else said it. I don't know. Hey, Tanya. But anyway, then he asked her how Miss Diane feeling, and she got all choked up and was like, my mama happy for me, and she told me she loved this side of me and she'll support me even if I do want to get married to the woman. So then Andy decided he gonna be messy, and ain't nobody asked him for that. Andy gonna say, well, Shamia, I know y'all in a terrible place, but outside of the mess, hey, sadly mistaken, outside of the mess, basically how you feel about, for Porsha and her relationship, whatever. And she's like, I'm happy for her, and I want her to, always want her to find love and be loved and all that. Porsha face was over there looking like she was trying to figure out which store had oxtails on sale. She wasn't buying it. And so then a fan question came in and said, Drew, you said Porsha living my life. Was you talking about, were you saying like you've been dating a woman too? And so Drew was like, I'm just saying, Kelly tried to jump in. Oh, she does everything she does. And I'm sitting there like, you sound stupid. Drew was sneaking around with Ty way before Patrice came in the picture publicly. Way before Patrice was a public part of Porsha life. We seen them pictures with Ty licking on Drew neck like an oxtail bone. When was that? Was that last year before last, when Ralph put them pictures out in them text messages and stuff? But here she go jumping in again. Pay attention to how many times Kelly and Shamia jump in other people's conversations when they're not a part of it, right? And so Drew said, what I'm talking about is I'm inspired to see how these ladies is like moving on after divorce and the stuff they've been through. And Porsha was like, yeah, that's what she's talking about. So then Andy asked her about Ralph, and she said her and Ralph basically just tired of fighting. Hey, Tammy Brown. No, Tammy, she didn't have, I don't remember her having one with Cordell. Maybe she did. I ain't gonna say she didn't, but maybe she did. But she definitely did have a miscarriage with that man that she wanted to have a baby nut with. I remember that. Something happened where she had the miscarriage. Because she said Pilar is the rainbow baby. She had that miscarriage, and then after she got with Dennis, then she had that other baby. But maybe she did have one with Cordell, because when she was talking tonight, she said she's had miscarriages and whatever, and she had problems with fertility. So far as we know, she could have had more than one. To be honest, to be fair, she could have had more than one, because that does happen to women. Some women lose a couple of babies. I know some women who have lost children and were never able to carry children successfully. Some women have almost lost their lives trying to have babies and just weren't able to do so. So that's something I take very, very seriously. Okay. Somebody say in the book, she wrote about the baby she lost with Cordell, and he was cold and left her alone. I believe that too. So yeah, it could have been more than one. Or they say y'all saying she only had the one. I don't know. I remember on the show her having one, or them saying she had one while we was on the show, and it wasn't with Cordell. So I don't know. I don't know her business. I don't follow her around. I don't know. Either way, I feel bad for any woman who loses a child. Hope that covers it. Anyway, so Drew, after Drew said what she said, Andy asked about Ralph. She said they tired of fighting. Andy asked her about the custody and the fact that the man got custody of the children. Hey, Latrice, thank you for being 257. And so Drew was like, well, I got a gag order, so I can't really talk about it. And Kelly was like, well, maybe Phaedra can help. And I'm sitting there like, how Phaedra gonna help with a gag order? She can only talk about stuff in general because she not, number one, she's not counsel for Drew. And even if she was, or especially if she was, she couldn't say nothing, right? But if Phaedra was just like, well, if somebody's got primary custody, they can get child support, and left it at that, because she knew where Andy was going. And so Porsha's like, yeah, like I'm the primary custodial parent 265 days. And that was nice to kind of swing it back to a little joke, right? So then we get another fan question, but this one was directed at Porsha about Drew. Hey D, thank you for being 259. And she was like, Ralph was, happy about his divorce settlement and thank Dennis. What you think about that? And Porsha said he can kiss her tail because she didn't like the fact that she felt like he was trying to insinuate that Dennis had to go to court to fight with her for time to see their baby. And she said that ain't never been the case. And I believe because it looked like her and Dennis really get along well with the co-parenting. They just don't get along well on the fact that Dennis don't like that Porsha moved on without him. She not gonna date you. She not interested. You hurt that girl and she ain't never going back. Then we get another fan question where the fan asked Kelly, like, you keep running at Porsha about Simon House. Okay, you think, I know that's right. She said Porsha ate with that one, and she did. So then they asked Kelly, you keep going at Porsha about Simon House. She said, and they asked her, are you jealous of the divorce settlement that Porsha got? That she got a better divorce settlement than you? Because she did. Bottom line, whether you love or hate Porsha, which you shouldn't hate nobody on TV because we don't know these people, but like a lover, dislike or whatever, you can't pretend that this heifer did not cross her T's and dot her I's because she did. The 9 months she spent mapping out that prenup, her and her lawyer, she did her due diligence. Okay, that she did. Okay, because that prenup was ironclad. Simon was over there trying to do the California worm, the centipede, and everything to get up at it, and he couldn't. So she said, no, I'm not jealous. And so I could never be jealous or whatever. And Porsha was like, she can't worry about Simon's house while she's sitting in Shamia's house. And Kelly said, I was only there for 2 weeks while my house got ready. That ain't what you said on the show, but okay, fine, if that's the story y'all going with. And then Porsha was like, well, you was out of yours. And that's the main thing. She said, and you wasn't in yours. She said, I maintained the house I'm in, paid for everything. And so Kelly was, that's the thing we saw in the trailer where she was like, well, you paid Simon bills. And Porsha was like, no, I paid my bills because the house was awarded to me. And then told her, you basically shouldn't be trying to discredit women while you out here begging for support. You want support from women with trying to discredit them. She's like, I ain't discredit nobody. Is your name on the house? Is your name on the house? So Porsha was like, girl, I was awarded the house, even though I know that's a term you ain't that you not aware, that you not familiar with, because you ain't been awarded nothing. Like literally nothing is what she's saying. I ain't say it, it's what she's saying. So then Angela jumped in, because at this point, this is the first time I'm noting, this is the first time somebody from the normal couch jumped in really in an exchange. The couch of misery, we done had multiple jump-ins from Kay, Shamia, and Kelly. Multiple. This the first time somebody from the regular couch said something. Angela was like, well, Kelly, where who house you living in? Kelly, who name on that deed? Kelly didn't answer. She pretended like she didn't hear it. So instead, she talking about sell a house. Girl, you keep thinking, well, one-liner gonna save you. It's not. Angela Oakley was not playing with your tail tonight. Angela said, girl, I'm in a $2+ million house. And she said it was in foreclosure. Why Andy Cohen jumped in? I say not Andy jumping in. Andy jumped in and said that was the investment house, not her house. I say, well, Andy, you right. And way to keep the gossip straight. Okay. And then Porsha said, well, you got kicked out your little bitty townhouse. You got kicked out your business. You got kicked out your whole life. I said, golly. Porsha apparently felt like she been holding her peace all season because she sure ain't hold her peace tonight. And then Angela said, girl, I'm not the one that had to borrow money from Gary. You did, baby. Gary's suing you right now. And then I seen Porsha's face go, oh, yeah, like she know who Gary is. Like, girl, who you borrowed money from? I was like, whoa. Then Andy went and got the clapboard. I said, okay, I can dig it. But at the end of the day, who is Gary? Who you borrowed the money from, and why is Gary suing you? Not, I need y'all, the people that's more nosy than me, go find the lawsuit. Go find the lawsuit. Why is Gary suing her, and how much money she owe Gary? Because we knew about the $200,000 she owed. We knew about the $26,000 to the credit cards. We knew about her workers not being paid. the little young girl that she was paying at the restaurant on Apple Pay, and then she didn't pay that girl her wages. Then the girl had to take her to court for wage theft. Y'all remember that? So Kelly owe a lot of people, you know. Kelly owe a lot of people. So y'all, one of y'all find out who the hell Gary is and how much money Kelly owe Gary. Andy was sitting there trying to figure out who the hell is Gary, baby. Listen, they was deep in them dozens. Andy, you supposed to have been like us, fly on the wall, take notes. Where was your pen and pad, Andy? Because I had my pen and pad. And I was thinking that apparently Angela need to throw a rock and see if she can hit the 10 people that Kelly owed to, just like she said about Pinky. Sunshine say, not you running all her debtors. Yeah, we got to run the list when we can when it's that many people, we got to do a roll call. Angela do be knowing their business. Not she owe everybody in Atlanta. I hope she don't owe everybody. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. And she do need to hush. If it was ever somebody needed to hush, it's Kelly. CC say Kelly need to worry about paying poor college students working them chicken and waffles. You doggone right. And shout out to that little girl mama, because I'd have beat Kelly tail. I'd have beat her in the shape. Me, you say Angela is a realtor and she know everybody's business. Apparently. So after that, then we get Andy to Porsha. Well, are you banned in Nigeria? Here come Kelly again. Girl, who pushed your button and pulled your string? Yes, it's from the community. They don't want you. And I'm like, which community? Which community in Nigeria don't want her? Because he didn't say the Nigerian community in Atlanta. He said, are you banned from Nigeria? That's what he said. Okay, Miss Niecy for the win. She said Gary Bryant. Let me get my pen so I can research this later on. Let me go after page 15 and remind myself to go find who Gary Bryant is and how much money Kelly Potter owes Gary Bryant. Okay. And thank you, Miss Niecy, for getting on it. Gary Bryant. Thank you. I hope he ain't one of my cousins. No, the Jacksons, Baskins, and Bryants is my kin people in Georgia. I hope it ain't one of my kin people. She owe no money. Okay. But listen. So after that, Porsha was like, no, she's still 44% Nigerian, and we going back. Her and Phaedra was like, and we going back. We already know she done been back since she left Simon and all. You can't ban that lady from no whole country. That's a country with over 330 some odd ethnic groups. Even if he could say that all the Edo people don't like her, it's like another 300 and some odd tribes. I'm sure they'd be very happy with her. I'm not sure how you can be 44% of a country that did not exist before your mama was born. But okay, Porsha, if you believe them DNA tests is for entertainment purposes only, then shout out to you too. Okay, shout out to you too. Anywho, moving right along. So we get past that when her and Phaedra say they're going back. And Andy gonna ask the people, was any of y'all surprised that Porsha ended up with Sway? And K. Michelle said she was, because she was trying to push her the mic and telling her, oh, that man really like you. She was expecting Porsha to have another baby. You know, maybe she'll have a baby with the man. And she said Porsha pulled her to the side and said, I don't like him like that. I told y'all. Okay. Porsha only had Mike there because he was supposed to be the soft launch to Porsha the lesbian. It was, oh, I'm really bi. And then, oh, magically, ta-da, I'm a lesbian. She was a lesbian the whole time, okay? Whole time. So after Kay said that or whatever, Andy was like, well, the man said he loved you. Was that your first time hearing it? And she said, yeah, that was my first time hearing it. Then he told me he had done told me about had told his dad about me. And Gary Tolliver. Is it Gary Tolliver or Gary Bryant? Let me put both names down so I can check both. Don't y'all confuse me now. But don't worry, I'm going to dig it up. We're going to find out who Kelly owed his money to. Is it Gary Tolliver or Bryant? The names wrote down. I'm going to dig it up. Yeah, but I said that, didn't I? Poetic lyrics. I told y'all that Porsha ain't want that man. Porsha ain't want that man. He was just there to help her, you know, usher in the Porsha the lesbian era. You know, she couldn't just go from, you know, the femme fatale who, you know, slays the men to now I'm going with a girl. She could have, but she didn't want to. She wanted to ease the people into it. Okay. So after that, she said after he told her that he told his daddy about her and he talking about he loved her and all that, that she said that's when she knew she had to do something. So, and it's like, well, what was his reaction to you choosing the woman? And she said it wasn't good because she didn't really talk to him about it. We saw that on the show, that she posted the woman on social media, and that's how he found out. And she apologized and apologized again on the show. Okay, Gary Tolliver loaned her $35,000 back in 2004. Okay, we're gonna make sure it ain't more than one. We're gonna make sure it ain't that it's not more than one Gary. Gary Tolliver, $35K back in 2024. Thank you. This is why we don't talk housewives without Deborah Randall, because she is the truth. She's the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Okay, so y'all need to hit that like button. Thank you. Appreciate it. I put Gary Tolliver, and it says that Kelly owes Gary $63,085. Is that after all the fees and whatnot? Currently $63,085. Kelly, you need to go and pay Gary. See, you shouldn't have been buying teeth and you owe somebody $63,000. Could be several. The plot thickens. So anyway, after all of that, then we get another fan question. And the fan was asking Phaedra about her jokes about Porsha's love life in her confessional. But Phaedra be joking and making shady jokes about everybody, just like Cynthia made shady jokes about Phaedra. Oh, I know you got to be hunching somebody because you be looking too sexy and all them wigs and all that, right? Two different loans. Y'all get at me in Discord. I want to make sure I get all this. So Phaedra said, first of all, because Andy was like, do you still feel like Porsha just date anybody who got the coin? And so Phaedra was like, well, first of all, Porsha would not date a broke person because who in their right mind would? I said, amen. Bless his holy name. Phaedra, you better preach. Let the Lord use you. Yeah, because it's only a stupid woman, a very stupid woman that date a man ain't got no money. She said, but she loved their relationship and they done been on double dates and all that. Okay. And so Andy said, well, who was the fourth person? Here come Kelly jumping in the conversation again. Who pushed your button, called your name, or pulled your cord, ma'am? Why is your mouth open? This is why it's so laughable to see her and Shamia complain if anybody's interject anything, because they have been interjecting all night. They've been interjecting all season, right? So she's sitting there, male or female, and Pinky was like, oh, it's the Porsha special. Y'all are so lame. Y'all are such losers. Just losers. I'm sorry. The loser alliance, the couch of misery, the sofa of misery is just too much. So Andy was like, well, Phaedra mentioned y'all done dated the same guy. Porsha was like, why are you telling all the business? And she wasn't going to say who, but turns out it was Mike. And so K. Michelle was like, well, she going to always keep a nugget in her pocket. If it's me, see, I want to know. And Porsha said, well, she told me. They're actual friends. She told her. She wasn't your friend. She was trying to get to know you. So this is where the Porsha and K. Michelle clash came in, right? So Kay was like, well, we're talking about Nash and saying they played the flashback where she said he called her and said X, Y, and Z, that, he was dating Porsha or whatever. So Porsha was like, K. Michelle, you is married. And that man ain't had nothing to do with me when I wasn't crossing paths with him when I was getting to know you. Basically what she was saying, the way I took it, right? See how I did that? I didn't lie on nobody. That's what I need Shamia to start doing. If you're going to paraphrase, say you paraphrase and stop telling people they said stuff they didn't say. So Kay said, well, he said that y'all was still dating and you said y'all wasn't. And she was saying, that's why I don't need to listen to people. And that's true. You took that man word and had an attitude with a woman over something that wasn't even true. You should feel stupid because you look stupid, Kay. And so Porsha was like, well, that man was never in the crossfire between me and you at all. And she said, I was trying to get to know you. I didn't even know you. I was trying to get to know you. And so she said, how you going to try to get to know me and you have me sitting around and you dealing with this man? And Porsha shut her right on up and was like, stop saying dealing with this man. like you keep saying that Drew saying you was dealing with Blak, because it's stupid. It doesn't make sense, right? So she said, and which K Michelle am I even talking to? Kay was like, well, it's about 4. Let me see which one. And Porsha was like, oh, it's way more. Kay, it's way more than that. Way more than that. And then we get the impersonation heard around the world about, you know, the conversation, her calling and apologizing, and Kay getting back on Twitter and whatever. And then Kay blames the interview with Carlos King for what she said. Carlos King had nothing to do with the stuff that you said on Twitter, K Michelle. The stuff that you said on Twitter is why Porsha looked at you the way you did. She's talking about he led you into that. Porsha was like, I'm not like you new girls. I can't be led into nothing. So then Kay talking about, you know, your PR training ain't working. Ain't nothing new about me. Ain't nothing new but your PR training or whatever. And Porsha was like, girl, I ain't got no PR training. And so she was like, you know, I have lived. In other words, I didn't need PR training. I done lived and learned. So she's like, I have lived. I have lived. And she's like, oh, you lived a lot of lives. And so you hear the couch of misery, Shamia and Kelly, kiki. And I'm like, what is the kiki for? Because I don't see it. And so Porsha said, and so has your body. It was about that time that everybody's face froze. Even the couch of misery. I say, not y'all face done froze, not you gag. Y'all was just over there, kiki. Why you ain't kiki? Everybody face froze. And all night long, Phaedra kept looking off into the distance at Casper the Friendly Ghost. I don't know who the hell Phaedra was looking at, trying to keep from laughing. It was wild. I said, y'all done made, I don't know that we done seen this version of Porsha. Like, we done seen Porsha get activated, but Porsha was bang, bang, bang, bang. And everybody who came to her, she was returning fire. I was like, ooh, this a little different. You know what I'm saying? We could have used this version of her earlier in the season and last season. But you know, it is what it is, right? So after that, then she said, you need to close your glory hole. And I'm like, what that got to do with anything? Because who is she hunching? She didn't hunch no man of yours. And if she hunched Nasha, not she's single, he's single. So why are you talking about a glory hole? Like, what is you even talking about? And then so then she, you know, directed it toward her mouth. And Porsha said, well, you done had plenty. And so Kay said, but we know about you. No, you don't. No, you don't. You know what you heard. See, that's what make me laugh at K Michelle. 1 minute, the blogs is demons. The next minute, the blogs is the Bible. So we know about you. K Michelle, them same blogs that told stories about Porsha, told stories about you too. Okay, we heard about you, mama. We don't know if it's true, but the people say you got a friendly coochie. That's what the people said. So for her to sit there with a straight face and talking about we know about you, no, you don't. You know what the people say. So if the people can lie about you, then they could be lying about her. If the people telling the truth about her, they could be telling the truth about you. Because Kay, you done slung that monkey to the left, right, sideways, and center so bad that people talking about what it do and what it smell like. We ain't heard no coochie reports on Porsha. We heard gossip, rumors, and innuendo about who people thought she go with. Just like Simon sat up there and told us that big lie about she was going with Future, for Future to let y'all know he ain't never went with Porsha, and y'all know Navardius will sue y'all. So people can give you men that ain't even your man. Because Simon Show tried to give her Future, and Future let him know that ain't even the truth, and watch him out. So just because people put something on you is one thing, but what we have never had was no man that laid up with Porsha to get on no podcast, Mano, and get to talking up under her clothes, giving no coochie report. And I don't even approve of that. I don't like for no man to talk up under a woman's clothes. But you can't be up here reveling and beating your chest about rumors on another woman when the men who was actually betwixt and between your legs done came out and gave testimonials. And as bad as Simon hate Porsha, if it was something he could have said that was truthful, he would have gave it. But Kay, people done gave testimonials on your cat. Okay? Let's be easy. And like I said before, at the end of the day, thank you, Brian. At the end of the day got the end. All right? women sitting up worrying about who hunching who and trying to police other women's privates is weird to me. Keep other women's cooches out your mouth. Everybody on that stage, except for, I'm going to say low-key Angela, because we ain't heard nothing about her, and Cynthia, even Phaedra, because I ain't really heard no concrete stuff on her, but the rest of y'all got whole facts reports. That's why I don't understand when we try to assign one person the whole title when all y'all was popping coochie. All of you were popping coochie. Pinky was popping it for the men and the women. Drew was popping it during her marriage to let the people tell it. The people say Porsha popping it. The people said Shamia was popping it. The people done said Kay was popping it. Hell, the people Kay popped it with done came back and said she popped it. They got to stop all that sitting up policing other people's coochies. Like, stop that. That is so weird. Cut it out. If you ain't no gynecologist, you should not be that interested in coochies. You just ought not to be. Okay? It's weird. Stop it. Anyway, so after all that, I done said my piece. So after all that done happened. And she tells Porsha, go be the star you not. She clearly a star because Cardi B is over there fangirling over Porsha. I ain't seen Cardi fangirl over you yet, Kay. I ain't seen no superstars fangirl over you. I saw you got some sympathy flowers from Beyonce after Cowboy Carter because she felt bad for you because she came out, did country, blew it up big, and you still trying. But I ain't seen no actual stars fangirl over you. I ain't seen that yet. But you know, go off, girl. So then we get into the K Michelle segment. I was like, well, where this finna go? You know what I'm saying? Because Kay didn't give us a lot of personal stories, so I didn't know where it was going. Yes, don't be policing coochie. That's weird. Stop trying to police other people coochie. Absolutely not. That's not nice. So in the K Michelle section, we got silicone sausages, miscarriages, and music. Okay, that's what we got. You say that's when you saw the hater in K. Yep. And I felt like that's when we saw what your real problem is with Porsha. That's your real problem. K Michelle came on that show very much like she was going to be the star girl that was there, like y'all housewives, but I'm the star. And she got there and found out you not exactly the only star here, girl. And Porsha can barely hold a note in a locked briefcase. But you not the only star there. So then Andy asked about her music. She says she got to do her album cover, but she got to be careful because she the black girl in country music. You're not the only black girl in country music. You're just not. But she the black girl in country music, and people still want to try to make her be the angry black woman. It's like, Kay, you got a chip on your shoulder that you need to sell at the pawn shop or eat that hoe. Do something. Let it go. Okay? Then Andy asked her about her husband. Is he wearing drawers yet? You know, is he still got his ding-a-ling just flying loose commando in his scrubs? I didn't want to know that about that man. That's a little bit creepy. And he told her that she put his ding-a-ling on blast, and she say she kind of regret doing that. And they, you know, got into infidelity conversation, and she said that he done been caught cheating, she done been caught cheating, but she ain't never leaving or divorcing her husband, and she not finna lose her marriage over no couple of strokes. And so Andy asked her, was she a gay man? Because he said that gay men are more relaxed about their sex lives or whatever. I don't know. You know, I ain't never been no gay man. I don't know. But that's what he say. He is one. I guess he would know if anybody would. And she said, you know, after she said that, she was like, you know, her body go through stuff and he ain't gonna tell her what he doing, and she don't really want to know what he doing. But you know, going through stuff with these surgeries, if he go do whatever, you know, basically she cool. So she say, right? And so then after all of this, we talking about K Michelle, her man, his ding-a-ling, no draws, in scrubs, cheating on each other, doing the humpty hump, do the humpty hump. Why Shamia jump in randomly out the blue addressing Drew about a comment she made when they first came on the stage? At this point, I was sitting there, y'all. I had to pause play so I could scratch my face. You know, when something get on your nerves, sometimes it make your whole face itch. I had to stop and scratch my face. Shamia, This, you broke up the whole flow of conversation because you want to be included in something that's none of your goddamn business. If you not hunching K Michelle, you not hunching her husband, you not managing her coochie, you not managing her husband dingling, flying loose in them scrubs. What the hell has got to do with you? And please tell us what it got to do with Drew. Well, that's why when you said what you said about leaking, like that was hurtful. Hurtful to who? Hurtful to who-ho? Because I'm tired. Truth is, I'm tired. Hurtful to who? So then, of course, Drew gonna play dumb because that's what she do best. Drew talking about, but I was talking about me. No, you was talking. You mentioned you, but you was shading K Michelle. Like, let's just keep it a buck and a bean. I'm not mad at you for shading her. That girl harassed you all season. If you shaded her, you shaded her. You should have said, yeah, I shaded her. That whole harassed me all season, lying on me and all. I shaded her and what? That's what she should have did. But Drew ain't real. So we ain't gonna never get that from her. But I just had to say for the record, that's what the hell she should have done. Okay. So of course Kay was like, yeah, but you know, she was referring to me. She was it. Yeah, she was. You done lied on that girl and harassed that girl all season long. I personally, even though I don't like Drew, I had no problem with Drew taking a shot at K Michelle at that moment. Kay, you've been harassing that girl all season. At this point, I feel like you did it initially to try to help Shamia because you felt like they was ganging up on her, even though it wasn't real, dummy. And instead of you saying, you know what, I was in the wrong, you doubled down and you keep messing with the girl. And we've been watching it even tonight, okay? So anyway, after that, then Angela said, Shamia, you the last one to say something. And here comes Shamia. I wasn't talking to you. You complaining because she jumping in, but you just jumped in a conversation addressing somebody else that wasn't even a part of the conversation, just random bullcrap. Shamia is a mess. This girl, it's like her brain must be severely disordered. This conversation going this way, you randomly jump in talking about something else, trying to make something, just like you did in Scotland. Everybody talking about Porsha dating and her and Dennis co-parenting and the sway of it all and the mic of it all, and you randomly jump in. I want to be around your kid. Your mama's a hoe. You're weird, Shamia. You're freaking weird. Anyway, I digress, but she got on my goddamn nerves. So she's telling Angela, I wasn't talking to you. And Angela was like, just like Drew wasn't talking to you. Be careful. You know, I got to cease and desist. I say, uh-oh, Angela about to mess around and tell us what's going on with that cease and desist, okay? So then K Michelle was like, well, I made it a point to go tell Drew, well, I made it a point not to say certain things to you and, you know, trying to act like, oh, Drew went below the belt. It don't matter what part of the belt she went to, above the belt, on the belt, dead on the belt, below the belt. K Michelle, the fact remains, and I really kind of used to like her a little bit, but you harassed that girl all season long for no reason. I don't care where she hit you on the belt, above or below. You harassed that girl all season. So here she go. I made it a point not to say certain things to you. Go back to talking about your husband and his sausage. Because Drew wasn't even a topic of conversation. Shamia did that because she wanted you to argue with Drew. And you, Miss I'm so intelligent, was dumb enough to fall for it. How you let somebody as ditzy and dull as Shamia yank your chain? Slow motion. So anyway, Drew said, you know, you already said everything. You came after me all season long. I said, all right, Drew, stand up a little bit. Stand up a little bit. So Kay was like, well, you're not a victim. Here come Kelly jumping in. Mind you, her and Shamia jump in all night. Angela say one thing, I wasn't talking to you. Ain't nobody been hardly talking to you hookers all night. And y'all ain't shut up yet. We ain't got to your segment. People barely asked you any questions. Andy barely asked y'all name. And y'all been jumping in all night. Here come Kelly. She always a victim. Funny you should say that. You over here playing bestie to somebody who's a professional victim. Now, Drew is a victim. Lord have mercy. If Drew Sidora ain't a victim, I don't know who is. But you know who's a bigger victim? Shamia. Shamia victim so hard she got the blogs trying to help her push the victim narrative, and we not buying what they selling. Okay. So anyway, then Phaedra was like, look, a lot of people in ATL, because she got back to the surgery conversation and all that. She was like, you know, a lot of people in Atlanta did underground procedures with these people, you know, because they was popular or whatever, and people trusted them, but these people are not board certified. you know, that's just one of them things that, you know, is unfortunate. In case said that it's people that be in her inbox asking for help still now, because one of the guy that did it to her and she got messed up, she say he's still doing procedures even now, still now doing procedures right now. So it's kind of messed up. I really hate that that's happening. I'm not gonna say I hate that women want to get things done to their body, because it's your body. I just, you know, would absolutely say make sure this is a board certified physician or surgeon. Make sure you check their malpractice history. Make sure you find out if they done been sued before you go and lay on that table, because this is your life. This is your whole life. So y'all, please be careful, right? Anyway, so then Andy asked Kay, what's your takeaway from this season? She say that that she had to, you know, learn how to socialize with women, and that she realized that she really didn't heal, and she thought that just removing herself from situations with women so she wouldn't be triggered and react, that was healing, but it's not, and that she needed to be in situations so that she could react in a way, I guess, so she would know she was healed, is what she was saying. I kind of get it, because she told us like the beginning of the season that she had a very unpleasant situation, or unpleasant interaction or history with the, you know, the kind of it girls in Atlanta, where she said they was mean girls to her. She called Atlanta a mean girl city, and how they was clicked up and kind of like blacklisted her and froze her out. And I believe her. I'm gonna say that. I believe K. Michelle on that. I believe she was treated that way. We know Rashida nasty. We know Candy nasty. We know Toya Johnson is nasty. And she's just honorary Atlanta, because she ain't from Atlanta. She from New Orleans. But she got over there in Atlanta and got in with that clique. And she nasty too. All of them kind of nasty. And, you know, I believe that K. Michelle kind of experienced that freeze out after her time on Love and Hip Hop. So Phaedra, you know, was trying to explain on K. Michelle's behalf, and she said she feel like, you know, that K might have PTSD from her bad experiences with women, which is true. You can have PTSD from anything that traumatizes you. And she said that, you know, coming on this show with them big personalities, you know, that it probably triggered her. You know, she came around or whatever, but she feel like K. Michelle was very misunderstood. And I like that. Okay. I did like Phaedra speaking up for her in that moment, because a lot of things can be true at the same time. K. Michelle was a mess this season. K. Michelle was not the K. Michelle that a lot of us were expecting to see. It was terrible to watch her try to pick with Drew for nothing, even though I don't like Drew. It was wild to see her try to make up a fake beef with Porsha. It was wild to see her do a lot of stuff, but we can't pretend like the things she experienced, she didn't really experience. We can't do that. And I like that Phaedra talked up for her. So shout out to Phaedra for that one. Andy asked her what would she do different. She said everything. She just like basically the main thing was she would have let stuff play out and just let stuff happen, rather than trying to get in front of it, talking about plots and plans and all that. And she said definitely wouldn't have been listening to outsiders tell her things. So Porsha was like, you know, exhale, because she be doing that a lot. So Kay said, what you over there huffing for? And she said, because it's sad. I was excited about you and getting to know you. And she said, she said, because she kind of felt like when she first came in, like she didn't have no friends on that show until she made friends with Phaedra. Mind you, Shamia over there making faces, and I'm like, Shamia, you forget sometime you didn't come on that show when Porsha came on that show. I think, and it's a part of Shamia's brain that rewrites history, very revisionist. And I think in her brain, she feel like when Porsha got on the show that somehow they were a package deal and they came on together. And it's like, girl, we watched that happen. We watched it happen. You were not there when she was there. So she couldn't even really stand for, you know, Porsha to make that statement, because somehow it bugged her that she was, you know, talking about the fact that she came on that show and as a lone wolf, she said, and until Phaedra came on, she felt like she didn't even have a friend on the show. Carrington said, K. Michelle is doing the same thing to Drew that she says Rashida did to her. She's not a nice person and truly male identified. Now, I agree with you that K. Michelle is very male identified, but what Rashida did to K. Michelle is far more egregious than what K. Michelle did to Drew. K. Michelle picked with Drew, pretended to beef with her, pretended the girl did something she didn't. What Rashida did to K. Michelle was to tell her that she lied about being abused, tell her she made it up. That's a heinous thing to do to a woman. Somebody who's been abused, assaulted, and then you to stand in their face and tell them they lying. That is heinous and disgusting. Rashida needed her behind beat. Somebody needed to grab her by them bags that was up under her eyes and Hulk smash her. I'm talking about left and right. That was some of the low down, dirtiest things you could ever do to a woman. That's almost as dirty as telling a woman who has been sexually assaulted, I don't believe you. I believe you're rapist. That was disgusting. Okay. Hey, Couture Babe, what's up, gorgeous? Now, while I do feel like it is ridiculous, petty, childish, and foolish to be trying to pick with somebody just because you feel like they're weaker than you or because you're trying to get licks in for another chick, it nowhere near as dirty as what Rashida did to that girl. That was really nasty. Right. But Shamia, likes to rewrite history because the look on her face when Porsha said what she said to K. Michelle, like, hey, I done been in the spot. Hey, Mood Makers Home Decor, I'm so happy to see you. And in fact, she was abused and it all came out. Right. And Rashida never apologized because Rashida is a disgusting person. She deserves Kurt. But I digress. So she was like, I thought it was going to be cool. And she said at every turn, I couldn't figure out what we could do to make you see things a different way. And what I do like was that K. Michelle owned it. She was like, it was nothing nobody on this cast could have done to change the way I was thinking. It was in my head. I respected that. I did. K. Michelle been getting on my nerves all season, but I respect that. I can respect somebody that can own their stuff. It was in your head and you took it out on everybody else. Like, girl, own it. You was having a mental moment. I don't know what type of mental moment because I'm not a professional, but you was having one. Queen said, I'm tired of everybody having to make up excuses for Kay and Shamia. No one else that's new on a reality show get excuses made for them. If you can't handle reality, don't come on the show. I agree. But people made excuses for Drew and they kept bringing her back, even though a lot of us said she should have been gone after the first season. People do make excuses for them. They do. They really do. And it's not the first time. But how you doing? But welcome. So, anywho, we got to keep it moving, y'all. We got a lot of pages. So then Porsha was like, because after she said that, with nothing we could do, and that's when Kay said that that bloggers, outsiders was telling her stuff. Bloggers was telling her that the ladies had reached out and was like, what y'all know about K. Michelle? Mood Maker said Drew should have been gone. She gets so much grace. Yeah, she do. She's horrible. She's a bad actress. She done fake storylines. She lie all the time. Everybody make a million excuses for Drew. So, we can't pretend like K. Michelle and Shamia the only people get excuses made. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can, allow them excuses for Drew, and it's been 4 years at this point, I feel like go on, let Shamia and K. Michelle get some of that victim train. Let them get some. But anywho, Porsha said, well, what lady called the bloggers? Give us a name. And this is one time, not one time. Porsha had a few good points tonight. I'm going to give her that. Black Mamba or not, I'm going to give her that. And so, because if you're going to talk about it, say who you claim called. You still giving hearsay, K. Michelle. You still telling us what a blogger said, not what what somebody told you, and you just automatically believed it off the muscle. She didn't answer. She never answered who these ladies were. Andy said, well, isn't it normal if you know people to say, hey, what you know about this person? And I'm with Andy. That is normal. That's a very normal thing to do, especially in the business that y'all in, which is entertainment and relationships. Nobody had a problem with people asking questions when NBC Universal and Andy Cohen himself was going around gossiping on Nene, calling her a problem, trying to blacklist her so she couldn't get her coin. But can't nobody even ask who you are because they got to work with you or what y'all know about this lady. I felt like Andy was right on that one. Don't like him either, but he was right on that one. And so Kay was like, well, I didn't call nobody and ask this and that. You didn't have to. Let's talk about it, K. Michelle. According to Phaedra, and you was nodding your head agreeing, you got PTSD in Atlanta. You don't feel like you have the connections with people that you can call and comfortably have these conversations. So is it so hard to believe that other people who do have these relationships do very much feel comfortable to have them? It is what it is, right? So Andy say, well, look, who? Because we want to know who. Why are you talking about, oh, see the bloggers, this and that. So he said, who? Here she go talking about the African dude again, Nosh. Well, Nosh and a hairdresser. Some like a hairdresser and a man that you said put his naked feet on your kitchen counter is who you running with. Okay, Michelle, please. That man did a whole interview, and the story he told on Imacho's girl. So then Andy was like, well, you know, what about the viewers and how they feel? A lot of the viewers didn't think it was cool that they watch you sit there quiet in the scenes and jump up and run away from scenes on the show and then get online and go to tweeting and jumping on Twitter and stuff. And she's like, well, I've always done that. It's not new. I've always tweeted about every, you know, thing going on in my life. It's, you know, that wasn't a new thing for me. And people think I'm confrontational and I'm not. And he was like, yeah, you actually sensitive, right? She was like, yeah, I'm sensitive. And I kind of like the fact that Andy was like, yeah, you kind of overly sensitive. And I said, don't make me agree with Andy. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Cammie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all spam the chat with the word welcome for Cammie. Say it's only right to hit the like button. She don't have to give us her reviews. She doing us the favor. I appreciate all that you do. I'm new to your channel. Thank you. Welcome, honey. Make sure you subscribe so you can come back. Okay. Red say Kay is full of every bit of sugar honey iced tea. She a whole lie. Call it what it is. Lie. There you have it. You say you heard him tell her not to do it no more. He sure did. Yes, he did, honey. But anyway, so she said that she's, you know, overly sensitive. He said she was overly sensitive. And so he asked her, like, why did you make a whole big thing out of that girl asking you if you had a miscarriage, right? And so I'm like, okay, now we finna get to the meat of the matter. We talking about K. Michelle. Let's talk about her shenanigans during this season, because K. Michelle definitely came with the shenanigans. She came with it, right? I'm talking about shenanigans included. So she said, after he asked her about that, she's like, I had just got out the hospital and, you know, her normal excuses. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. You know, okay. If you say so, right? And then Porsha was like, they asked her, asked Porsha, what was your intention asking the question? She said she felt like she, you know, was pulling her into a safe space or making her feel like, you know, you could talk here and this and that. And, you know, she had, you know, talked to her about her fertility, which we saw that on the show. K. Michelle did discuss with Porsha that she was trying to have a baby and that, you know, had some little difficulty and she wanted a little girl. She always wanted, you know, she wanted to have another baby. So if you already talked about that, which I said that during the season, if you had already discussed with Porsha that you were trying to have a baby, right, having a little bit of difficulty, and you tell her that you get up and you soaking wet from the waist down, you drenched, anybody is going to think it's a miscarriage. And it wasn't just Porsha that said it. Cynthia thought the same thing. And in that moment, K. Michelle said, that's what I thought too. But it was just Porsha and you're so upset by her. You're sick, Kay. You're sick. Go talk to the lady. So at that point, and so Porsha was like, you know, she apologized again. And she was like, not only she talked to me about her fertility, we was there with other women with uteruses. These are people that I trust. And I've had miscarriages, and Pilar's my rainbow baby. And I've been working with the March of Dimes for however many years, she said. And I really wanted you to feel safe, be able to talk, thought you would be able to accept that when I explained it to you and apologized to you. And K. Michelle accepted the apology again. And then we find out from K. Michelle that in the moment when she was tweeting, she wasn't even talking about how she felt right then. She was tweeting about how she felt when things first happened. So then you see the light bulb come on behind Porsha's vacant eyes. And she's like, oh, so you was tweeting like you was in a confessional. And she said, yeah. And it was like, oh, all y'all hookers special. All y'all special. So then Andy was like, you want some advice? Don't do that. And I'm like, yeah, don't do that. That was super weird. Like, why the hell would you do that? That's such a weird thing to do. Oh, you are so welcome. Don't let it be your last time. You family now. You ain't no visitor no more. And so then we get a fan question, right? And the fan said to K Michelle, did you rush to befriend Shamia, Kelly, and Pinky and not give the other ladies a chance? I felt like that was a fair question because Porsha definitely tried to befriend you, and then it looked like you chose up. I'm gonna be friends with them, and I'm gonna just have a problem with everybody else because I'm friends with them, because clearly they got a problem with everybody else, right? And Shamia, she said Shamia was the first one to check on me when I was in the hospital. And Porsha was like, looked like I should have put the pedal to the metal then. And I said, that's fair. Because it's giving, because Shamia came to visit her in the hospital first. Then your first inclination was, I'm going to be, loyal to her, and I'm going to attack everybody she don't like because she came to see me in the hospital. And so Kay was like, I just took up for her because she felt like she was being bullied, and that's just my personality. And Shamia was like, I didn't ask her to do that. And Kay said, well, that's just my personality. She didn't ask me. She didn't ask you, but what she did do was lay on your shoulder, in my opinion, not a fact, just how I feel. I feel like what Shamia did do was lay on her shoulder and complain about what they was doing and play victim like she do. Oh, they doing so much to me, and it's all of them, and I'm all by myself, and this one doing this to me, and this one doing that to me. And then K Michelle did what she do, try to act like the big bad wolf. Oh, I get them for you. I get them. They ain't gonna do this to me. I bet you I wouldn't let. And so you ran out there like a crash dummy, and Shamia amped you up to do it. I do believe she ain't. I do believe that she probably didn't verbally say, hey, go fight this person. But I think she very much bellyache, moaned, whined, and cried on your shoulder until you felt like you was big sister almighty and you needed to go fight her battles. And that's exactly what you went to go do and made yourself look like a fool. That's what I think happened, right? Right, Red. Another Shamia tactic, because that's what she good for, is the goddamn tactic. That's all she got. Tactics and tears. Okay? Maybe that's what she need to name that perfume she claims she finna make. Tactics and tears, because that's all the hell she got. So then, after all of that don't happen and all like that, but that's my character or whatever. So then Andy put a Drew question for Shamia and said, Shamia, what was your intention on for telling K Michelle that your friends didn't want to be friends with her? Didn't you think that would, sway her opinion or whatever? And I'm like, okay, that's a fair question. Shamia, what was your point in telling her that Candy and Toya and Rashida don't like her and don't want her to be your friend? It's obvious because she know them women don't like her. So Shamia was like, gave the whole Candy explanation. Candy friends with people that don't like Kay, and Kay know that, blase squaze, right? So Kay was like, yeah, the mean girls. And Shamia was like, well, they're still my friends, so I'm not going to talk about them. So Andy talks about to Shamia, like, well, you say something happened off camera with Kay, like you want to tell us about it. And so Shamia was like, let Kay tell it. And Kay say, you already ran to tell everybody. And Shamia was like, no, I didn't. You did. You went to social media. So that's how we ended things. Now we done made it through 15 pages, but I got something to say, because we see that they're gonna really have it out next episode. And I'm interested to see how that goes, because whatever happened off camera at the what was it, the Ritz or the Waldorf? I think it was the Waldorf that that K Michelle said. At the end of the day, I'm with you. I'm with you. I believe Kay thought she was going to be the star, push Porsha out, and the entire other side would take over. That's what she thought. But I also believe Kay when she say what happened between Shamia, her, and her mama at that bar. Okay? I can't wait for what happens next week. What I will say, so far in part 1, part 2 is justified. And I think that's how we should take this reunion. By the time we get through 1, we'll know if the next part is justified. Now, for the last 5-6 years or so, 3-part reunions have not been justified for Atlanta or Potomac. Can I get a 1 in the chat if I'm right? Put a 1 if I'm right. For the last 5 to 6 years, maybe longer, 3-part reunions have not been justified at all. At all, right? I think we should take every part one by one. Now, by the end of this one, I do believe part 2 is justified. I think part 2 is justified. If y'all think so, type part 2 in the chat. We will know by the end of part 2 if part 3 is justified. We can't call it for the whole thing because, hey, for all we know, all the fireworks could have been in part 1. Could have been. But I think part 2 is going to be justified. So far, okay, I see some part 2s in the chat. Okay, so it's justified so far. What we saw in part 1, Kelly embarrassed herself good fashion. I don't even know why she's talking. We found out that we need to look more into what she owed Gary Tolliver and why. We also found out that Kelly need to leave Angela Oakley all the way the hell alone. Because I ain't know nothing about Gary Tolliver and you owing him no money, but she done called it out and Kelly up there playing dumb like she don't know who the hell Gary is when clearly you know him if he's suing you. She definitely need to leave Porsha alone. Especially after what we done seen this week. Porsha done got the house. She got the deed to the house, the title to the car, and a settlement for $1.5 million plus from Simon, from Granddaddy Simon, for the unpaid alimony and unpaid mortgage. Kelly need to be real quiet. And the next time she get married, she need to ask Porsha for her lawyer name and phone number. Hey, Chlo Glow. We see that Shamia's still jumping in stuff, making random conversations, trying to make fights where they don't exist. I don't really know where Angela Oakley is going with things right now. I think we're going to have to wait to see where she coming from because she ain't really giving us what she got yet. I guess maybe we'll get that in part 2 or possibly part 3. Pinky ain't gave us nothing like she did most of the season, nothing. She gave us vegan and bankruptcy and a vegan bankruptcy. So I guess now we got a vegan bankruptcy and a baby. I don't know what she gonna give us. And it looked like Phaedra gonna give us some action coming up too. Phaedra gonna end up having to get with Pinky and Kelly, I believe. I believe that's what I see cooking and brewing. Is that right there? I don't know how this thing about to play out, y'all. But tell me in the chat on the 1 to 10, part 1 of RHOA season 17, reunion part 1, what y'all giving it on the 1 to 10? I'm going to give them a 9.5. I can't give them a perfect 10, but I'm going to give them a 9.5. I'm going to put my score in the chat. 1 to 10, what y'all giving them? Okay, and Angela do need to open an investigation agency. She do. She do. Mm-hmm. She do. Queen say, well, tonight they went through Porsha K and Drew package. That's true. That's true. They did. I see some 9s, some 7s, some 7.5s. I see quite a few 9s. I see quite a few 9s. Okay. Oh, the review is the 10. Thank you. Okay, we got a 9. Cass say 9. Danya gave him a 9.5. Okay, makeup at it. We got an 8.5. Deborah say part 2 is definitely justified. Shirley gave him a 10. Sean gave me a 10. Thank you. Now, Sinclair Baptiste, we done found out that Gary is Gary Tolliver. And he's owed $63,000, what the people say. Yes, we got a vegan pregnancy now. Yes, a vegan pregnancy. Ian McKinnon said Kelly posted herself and Jarvis on Instagram. Well, he was at part 1 of the reunion backstage, but that don't look like the same man that was at Shamia party. Mm-hmm. Yep, get them likes up. Tell them, Queen. Thank you, sis. Sinclair, thank you. I be working hard for y'all. My arm's so tender. It's gonna be so tomorrow. I was writing like my final grade depended on it to get these notes. 8.7. Okay, you can't score it yet till you watch it on Peacock. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for my 10s. Thank you for my 10s. You always believe in private investigations. Only if I'm feeling nosy. Choglo gave us a 9.25. 9.25. Yes, we saw his actual face at the reunion, but we saw his face, his height, and his body stature. If you go back to the episode at Shamia's Devil Day party, the Halloween party, the man that Kelly had there was shorter than the guy that was at the reunion. He had a pot belly and he walked different. He had a little bit of a rock when he walked. That dude that she had at the reunion do not look like the same guy at all. He don't, not to me. I be paying attention. That did not look like the same person to me. Richard say 9. Thank you for my 10. Thank you for my 10. You say Jarvis was never real. I don't know who that man is there though. I don't know who that dude is. Something funny with all of that. Something is funny with all of that. Paige say Kelly blocked me, so I have to wait for somebody to post her in Jarvis. She brought him so she can secure her contract. She better, because her baby daddy mean as hell. She better secure that contract. I don't like her and I don't want to see her, but she got to feed them children. And them restaurants don't look so good. Lisa Lamar says 9. Welcome, sis. Mm-hmm. You missed the beginning. Okay. Thank you for my 10s. Thank you for my 10s. Thank you. So listen, that's it and that's all. I can't believe we made it through all them notes. I was trying to talk as best as I could. Thank y'all for hitting that like button, because I could not stop to be begging for likes, and we had to get through that many notes. It was no way I could have got through that many notes without y'all hitting the like button, because if I had to stop to beg for likes every couple minutes, we probably would have been here 3-4 hours. And I appreciate y'all for doing better with them likes. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for my 10s. You say the grits was runny. Not runny grits, Lord. Job is pulling a Usher. Which one is real? Yeah, I don't know which one is real, but them was 2 different men. Shine bright. Thank you for my 10, boo. You say, what you say? Yeah, note taking ain't easy. Listen, thank you for acknowledging that the note taking is hard work. I be over here working for y'all. And I want to say real quick before we get out, a special thank you to the people who supported this live stream, because I did work for y'all. Poetic Lyrics, thank you for the super chat. Brittany Janae, thank you for the super chat. And my girl, Nap Queen New Orleans, thank you for the cash app. Y'all supported my live stream, and I appreciated you. I am going to recap Ultimate Girls Trip soon as I figure out when it come on. I know it's supposed to be coming on like right around whenever, but I'm going to watch it. I'm going to get the notes, and I'm going to recap it. I promise you, y'all can count on notes from me. I'm definitely going to, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It ain't going to be easy, but I'm going to do it. Okay. All right. Thank you. It be plenty notes. I be over here working, man. Cecilia, how you doing? Thank you for being 293. So listen, y'all know what it is. This what time it is tonight. It's time to get up out of here. It is bedtime for some of y'all. Should be bedtime for most of you. So as always, y'all know what time it is. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in, I need you to please hit the way out. Hit your notification bell. Make sure you click all so you'll know every single time we go live on this channel. Now, if you've already hit that bell and you're not getting notifications, turn it off and turn it back on. Like unclick it and click it back, and that way it'll resend the signal to send it out. Make sure you join Discord, because my folks in Discord know when I'm going live before any and everybody else. Plus, sometimes it's gossip to get in there that don't make it to a live stream, and you don't want to miss nothing. So make sure that you're in Discord. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, because, honey, we happy to have you here. We are. And you know you like it here, so make sure you come back. If you want to join channel membership, there's a join button beneath the video and a membership link in the description box. Now, also in that description box, we got the link for my book, Little Girl, Big World. It is a survival guide for girls leaving home for the first time. You know, on this channel, this platform, we take our beautiful little Black girls very serious. So make sure that you get a copy. If you go to Amazon.com and type in Seanitra, it'll pop up. The link is there. If you can't afford a copy, holler at me in Discord. I will see to it that you get one free of charge, okay? Let's keep our girls safe. We also have the link for our merchandise store, so you can get your crown gear, represent the royal family. We got the link for my Amazon wish list in case y'all want to send some notebooks, pens, snacks, tea to keep my voice working so I can run my mouth, and everything else, okay? So listen, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. As always, good night, sweet dreams. Say your prayers. Make sure y'all not going to bed without praying. It's dangerous, okay? Pray first. Get that in first, okay? Also, if if you're going to work or going to school tomorrow, remember to be positive and productive. Encourage the people around you. Save some energy to please encourage yourself. And remember, in case no one else says it to you, God loves you. I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Talk to y'all again soon, okay?